Okay, thank you very much, Torri, and hello again, everyone. Fans watching on Sports 9 Live tonight. Les Strode is on the mound for the Omaha Royals. He has not given up a hit through 3 complete. Omaha leads it 1-0. They have 2 hits, no errors, and Indianapolis has 2 errors by Razor Shines. Laux is ready to go. Here's the pitch from Les Strode, and this is outside. Scott was a strikeout victim when he led off the first inning against Les Strode. 1-0 pitch is up high. Outfield straight away, medium depth. Les has 2 strikeouts. Hasn't walked anyone yet. Here's the 2-0. The fastball is outside, so it's 3 balls and no strikes. So we'll see what Les could do. Hasn't been in this situation in this game. Way behind the batter. And he gets the fastball in there.
Well, this is an unusual situation for Les in this ball game. He's never been this far behind on the hitter.
Steve Hammond at third. He's even with the bag. Here's the 3-1 to Laux. Well hit left field, but Dave Leeper is there on the grass. He takes it, so Les Strode gets an out there, and he was behind on the hitter, Torri, but there's 1 away for Wally Johnson. Wally's the first baseman. He flied out to John Morris his first trip to the plate. That was Butch Davis out in left. I keep forgetting that the designated hitter tonight is Dave Leeper. Haven't seen Butch in left field except in the major leagues this season. 1 ball and no strikes. And Les with the 1-0. In the air. Davis has to come in on it. He stopped at first, but he's able to get under it for the second out.
Tricky play. The way Jimmy Scranton scooted out there from the shortstop position, it appeared from this angle that
designated hitter,
it might drop in there. It was a lot shorter than it was. But you're right, Butch did his first move. He froze just for a second, and then he came in.
Ron Johnson's the designated hitter. Skied out to John Morris in center. That was in the first inning. With 2 away, here's Strode's pitch. The fastball is outside. But you know, Torri, Butch Davis has been up and down so much.
Yeah, I wonder what that does to a player's concentration.
That fastball, Steffens will give it a look as it's fouled, but it'll make the stands. 1 ball and 1 strike. Well, he's looking nonchalant as he makes the catch.
But will he give it to the girl?
Takes a look at his prize.
He's going to keep that one, I guess.
2 out, Razor Shines is on deck. The batter is Ron Johnson. Straight away, medium depth, the outfield plays Ron. That fastball, swing and a miss.
Well, he had him off rhythm on that pitch. Strode just throwing so excellently well tonight.
See what he does with this advantage. He has the breathing space, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Slider is inside. Count is now even. Flag pretty much still here at Rosenblatt Stadium. Les with the 2-2. Fouled off. Torri is ringing the dinner bell.
I can't get away with it. I can't hide them, can't stick them in my pockets or anything. You guys catch me all the time.
The hot dogs have arrived. Les Strode, 2-2 pitch. He's outside, so the count is now full to Ron Johnson.
Well, you know, Terry, we know that Ron Johnson, from the time he spent here in Omaha, the guy can really wield a bat.
Payoff pitch. Low fastball in the air. Morris stops, now backs up. The center fielder is there, and the side is retired. 3 up and 3 down for Indianapolis in the 4th.
Tonight's second lucky fan.
And Les Strode
at the Dutch Shop in
rolls along
Parkside Shopping Center
with his perfect game, Torri.
Nice to see. Now I guess it's the time you can start getting a little nervous. I don't know. We're at the midway point in between the 4th inning, and he's gone this far now, and he's really throwing well. You know, I mentioned this already, but Russ Steffens said before the game, if Strode is throwing strikes, he's going to be awesome. Well, Les has only been behind on a couple of batters so far in this game. He's faced 12. Set them all down.
When you have that advantage, it allows you to throw your breaking stuff not necessarily over the plate in that situation. You don't want to waste a pitch totally, but still you could work it way outside if you have a 1 ball or 2 strike count, or better yet, 0-2.
Well, you know, that's one thing you said. We get a look at Jeff Talbot down at the third base camera. Jeffrey doing marathon duty today with Cox Cable, as he was down at the Rainbow Lottery earlier this evening. So get a good look at Tim Cates. You know, Cates not throwing a bad ball game himself. You know, because we are in Omaha and we do follow the Royals, we obviously have to be caught up in what Les Strode is doing, but you take any other situation and Tim Cates is the star of the ball game at the moment.
He's given up 2 hits. We move to the bottom of the 4th.
First baseman,
Mark Ryle will lead it off, followed by Russ Steffens and then Steve Hammond. Mark's the first baseman. He flied out to Mike Fuentes in the 2nd inning. Tim Cates is the pitcher. The right-hander gets things going, and here's the pitch. Fastball, well hit to right field. It has the eyes. It is over the fence for a home run. 2-0 Omaha.
Well, the Royals not wasting any time. First ball hitting almost all night long against Cates. Now they lead it 2-0. Mark Ryle, 6th home run of the year, 42nd run batted in. Well hit shot into right field. Roy Johnson just waved at it. Mark Ryle. Kid needed that shot. There you see it. Inside pitch, powers it. Goodbye. 2-0 Omaha.
Russ Steffens is the batter. He bunts. It's a good one. It'll stay fair, and Russ Steffens is on first with no outs.
Exciting baseball by the Royals. The long ball and the short ball, back to back.
Catcher batting in the 6th spot. Works that push bunt for an infield hit. There are no outs. Steve Hammond, the third baseman, who was called out on strikes his first time up. He's hitting.
Third baseman, Steve Hammond.
Wally Johnson holds Russ Steffens at first. A run already in this inning, Mark Ryle's home run. Hammond, left-handed hitter, steps in. Gets set. Tim Cates takes a look. From the belt, third baseman is back. Razor shines. And Tim Cates is going to step off and is going to talk with George Bjorkman, his catcher. They have to decide the play they would have in this situation. There are no outs. We'll see if Steve Hammond tries the sacrifice route here.
Well, you know what? We talked about exotic baseball, and what we've just seen is definitely Royals-type baseball. Get a run with the long ball, come right back, and bunt for a base hit.
The pitch to Hammond's inside.
Now, we just seen something. I don't know if you noticed it after that pitch, but Cates came off the rubber and shook his head in disgust. It's only the bottom of the 4th inning. He trails just 2-0. And if he's showing those physical signs of frustration, you wonder what's going through his mind, and will he be able to buckle down and be able to pitch the way he needs to?
He's behind to Steve Hammond, 2 balls and no strikes. Russ Steffens measures his lead. Doesn't get a real big one at first, but he is a catcher after all. Here's the 2-0 to Hammond. Inside pitch. Well hit. It's going to disappear way out into right field over that fence. Oh, my, Torri.
Well, I'll tell you what. Roy Johnson did another wave act out there in right field. Well, the Stever, home run number 6, runs batted in 25 and 26, and the Royals lead it 3-0. All 3 runs coming this inning from the first 3 hitters, 2 home runs, no outs.
The batter will be Mike Brewer, who reached on an air in the 3rd inning.
Watch this. Right there, nice power play. Hammond, of course, a line drive hitter, got all of it. Look how far he hit that one into right field.
Going down the bank.
Better check your car if you parked on 10th Street, that's for sure.
Bob Rogers out to talk to his pitcher. It's now 4-0. 5 hits for Omaha, and Les Strode hasn't given up a hit, the Royals pitcher.
That's right, Terry. I said it was 3-0. What I meant to say was they scored all 3 runs via the home run this inning. Of course, added to that run and they got in the first. But now you've got a situation where this is the 4th hitter in the inning and there's no outs.
Roy Johnson, how about that? Out in right field. There's a very upset Tim Cates. We'll see how he comes back from this inning. The Royals in the 4th. 2 home runs, 3 runs. Mike Brewer is the batter. Here's the first pitch. That misses for ball 1. Jim Scranton is on deck. Here's the 1-0. That hit in the air, left field. Mike Fuentes takes a look. This time to the left side of the home run, Mike Brewer.
Hey, what do you say? Touch 'em all, make it small, kiss it goodbye. It all means the same. Home run. 3rd home run of the inning for the Royals. And they're just exploding the stadium.
You just love to see the outfielders on that. Fuentes this time in left. Watch that one clear the wall. And that will be all for Tim Cates.
Well, Brewer, on the meat part of the bat, has to be at least 370 feet. 11th 4-bagger of the year. Run batted in number 40. And that will do it for Cates. Buck Rogers making his 2nd trip out to the mound. As we get a look at the left-hander warming up for Indianapolis.
And check who that is, Torri. Tim Cates leaves after 3+ innings. Gives up 4 earned runs. Or check that. 4 out of the 5, yes, 4 earned. 5, one of those runs were unearned. Back in the 2nd. Relief pitcher is a left-hander. We're going to check his number for Indianapolis. But the power display of the year here at Rosenblatt for the Omaha Royals.
That's Mike Kennan on the mound, Terry.
Right.
The left-hander, making his 5th appearance, has no decisions, has an earned run average of 3.86.
Indianapolis, number 30, Mike Kennan.
So Kennan will be making his 5th appearance of the season, as we said, in relief of Tim Cates, who literally got blasted off the pitching mound. 3 home runs this inning. All first 4 of the hitters for the Royals in this inning have scored. Mark Ryle led off with a home run over the right field fence. Russ Steffens bunted down the 3rd base line for a base hit. Hammond homered over the right field fence. And Brewer homered over the left field fence.
And remember, there are no outs. It's 5-0. You want to add a little more drama to the whole thing. Les Strode will eventually, we think, take the mound in the 4th inning, or in the 5th. And he hasn't given up a hit. He hasn't put a base runner on either.
Now let's take a look at Mike Brewer's home run again. He really got into that. What's a good hit for the Brew? He needed it. As we mentioned before, he's been struggling at the plate.
Shortstop, Jim Scranton.
There it is. Cates' pitch. Goodbye. That was a classic home run swing. Look at Fuentes. Jim Scranton now with a left-hander up. Scranton will bat from the right side of the plate. Takes a strike. Scranton.
Jimmy sacrificed in the third inning. The pitch. Line drive. Will it be fair? It misses down the right field line.
Now you can't say the Royals aren't getting their bats on the ball this time.
Mike Kinnunen. Well, he has an advantage over a Royals batter finally. Jim Scranton is the hitter. 0-2. That's grounded foul.
Yeah.
4 hits, Torri.
Excuse me, Terry. I was just going to say the final lines on Cates. He went 3 innings plus. As you heard Terry say, he pitched to 4 batters in the 4th. Gave up 6 hits, a walk, 2 strikeouts. All those 5 runs on the scoreboard are charged to him.
The Omaha Royals shortstop, Jimmy Scranton. Kinnahun's pitch, curveball grounded up the middle. Al Newman moves nicely to his right. Good throw, and there's one away.
Well, I don't think any of the people that came to the ballpark tonight were expecting to see the long ball show that we've seen, but oh, it's nice to see it anyway.
Rondon Johnson, the second baseman, will now bat. He doubled and scored his first time up, then he flied out to left field in the third. One away. The fastball's down low. John Morris is on deck for Omaha. Kinnahun with the delivery, ground ball. Razor shines on the big up. He drops the ball again.
Well, Terry, you explain it to me. Sometimes that's the 3rd error by Shines at third base tonight, and that is the 3rd error by Indianapolis in this ball game. Razor, you can see just shaking his head. What in the world is going on? This is very, very uncommon. We're going to look at it again. Watch this. I got it. No, I don't.
Took his eye off it?
Possibly.
John Morris.
That high hop wanted to go from glove to bare hand. It didn't work.
John Morris is the hitter. Runner on first. Johnson breaks. Pitches outside. Throw down. He's in there with a stolen base.
Johnson with his 10th still stolen base. I'll get it out in a minute. 10th stolen base in 16 attempts. Well, the force is off now, Terry, and when you're in this situation, you can afford to do all kinds of things.
Johnson on second with 1 out. John Morris flied out his first time, then he reached on a Razor Shines air back in the third. 2 balls and no strikes. You know, Razor was talking to Gene Lamont as he was fielding some warm-up tosses, warm-up grounders between innings. Now he has his 3rd error. I think Gene was just kind of joking around with it.
Yeah, well, Razor was kind of yucking it up in the pregame.
Well, Kinnahun is behind. 3 balls and no strikes now to John Morris.
Terry, with all this going on, my hot dogs have still gone unwrapped.
The outfield straight away, medium depth. Kinnahun with the pitch. Chopper to the second baseman. Newman has it. He handles it. And there are 2 away, and Rondon Johnson goes to third. Here's Butch Davis. He had a single and was caught stealing in the first, and he had a walk in the third. Butch is the left fielder tonight. I have to keep reminding myself of that.
Left fielder, Butch Davis.
Doesn't seem like that long ago that I saw him down in Kansas City handling the left field chores for Dick Hauser's ball club. Johnson now on third. Kinnahun with the pitch. The fastball is up high and inside. 1 ball, no strikes.
Well, you know, you're right. It wasn't all that long ago. It was the last time the Yankees were in town. As you had gone down to see former Creighton Blue Jay pitcher Dennis Rasmussen.
1-0. That drops in there for a strike. The designated hitter, Dave Leeper, is on deck. Mike Kinahan. The delivery. Ground ball. This will go foul. Razor Shines gives it a look. Well, I was going to say hazy, overcast skies here at Rosenblatt.
Being pessimistic, I guess, I wonder what this will do to Lester Strode's rhythm now. He's had a long inning to sit in that dugout.
Johnson has his lead. Here's the pitch. Ground ball. Newman has it as it rolls along. He throws. Butch Davis is out. But what an inning. Omaha comes up with 4 runs on 4 hits. There was 1 error and 1 runner left on base after 4 complete. Good news from Rosenblatt Stadium. Omaha 5 and the Indianapolis Indians nothing. We go to the 5th inning. Omaha leads Indianapolis 5-0.
Razor Shines.
Razor Shines steps in against Les Strode. I'm Terry Leahy, along with Torri Pantaleon. We're live on Sports 9. Razor Shines, hard luck third baseman tonight. Flied out his first time. Les Strode is a pitcher. He has a perfect game. Here's his first delivery. Line drive, left field. Butch Davis should make the play. He does, and there's 1 away.
Yeah, I wonder the type of game defensively that Razor has. So many times you hear this said, leave it on the field, forget it. Once it's done, you can't get it back. But how many players can actually do that?
That's the sign of a professional there. You have to be able to do that. It's a tough situation. Razor's had 3 errors in this game out at third base. Here's Mike Fuentes, the left fielder. He is 0 for 1. Here's the pitch. Les Strode, his fastball's up high. Fuentes flied out in foul territory to Mark Ryle. George Bjorkman is on deck. Outfield, straight away, medium depth. Les Strode's pitch, fastball in the left center field. There's the first hit of the game. Butch Davis gets over there quickly. But Mike Fuentes is the first base runner with the first hit for Indianapolis, and there's a good hand, Torri, for the pitcher.
Well, if you're going to lose a no-hitter, lose it on a line drive hit where there's no doubt, and it's not bad to lose it to a guy, the batter, the caliber of Fuentes. Watch this, right out over the plate, rope single. That's a base hit anywhere.
Bjorkman's the hitter. George struck out swinging in the second. He's the catcher for Indianapolis. Mark Ryle will kind of play behind and guard the line. The first baseman. Runner has his lead. Strode comes to the plate. Well hit. Left center field. Davis going back. Takes a look. Up against the wall. He makes the catch. Fuentes has to get back, and what a play there. 2 out.
I'll tell you one thing right now. Mike Fuentes had already made the turn at second base, and he had to hustle to get back to first so he wouldn't get doubled up. A Bjorkman got all of that one, just a little too high. Davis making a fine catch out at the wall. Neat part of the bat. Davis, he gets turned around. Look at that. He turns a 360 right at the fence.
You can almost see Joe Rudy in the '72 World Series in the wall against Cincinnati off Dennis Menke, making that one of the great historic catches in the history of baseball. Butch Davis went up against that wall beautifully. Roy Johnson is the batter, the right fielder. Grounded out his first time up. Fuentes is still at first base. Les Strode from the belt. The fastball misses, so it's 1 ball and no strikes. 2 away now. Omaha leads 5-0 in this one. Mark Ryle at first for Omaha plays behind the runner, and he decoys over as if they may be putting on a little pickoff move there at first. Les Strode from the stretch. Here's the pitch now, and his slider is outside, so it's now 3 balls and no strikes. Big open stance. Takes a look, and here's the 3-0. Well hit right center field. It drops in. With 2 outs, Indianapolis, they have runners at first and second.
Pitch was inside. He got it off the handle and put a little bit of backspin on it. Rondon Johnson moving with the pitch.
Shortstop.
Gave up on the ball when he hit the outfield grass, the edge of the outfield grass, knowing there was no way he was going to get to it. And John Morris playing back on medium depth. Ball died before you could make a catch, so the Indians come up with their first 2 hits of the game right here in the top of the 5th.
Shortstop Rene Gonzalez popped out to Steve Hammond. His first time up. The runners on first and second. 2 out. Strode to the plate. Fouls that one back, so no balls and 1 strike to the Indianapolis shortstop. Infield will be back with 2 outs.
You might notice, Terry, the Indians, this inning, first pitch hitting. Figure the first 4 innings, Lester was throwing so many strikes and getting so far ahead, why wait? If it's over, let's go for it.
Here's Les with the 0-1. Inside an appeal. They get it. Rene Gonzalez tried to hold up on the swing. Russ Steffens went right down to John Flores at first, and he called it a strike. No balls and 2 strikes. There's Mike Fuentes at second. And there's Rene Gonzalez. He'll step back in. Roy Johnson is at first. 2 hits in the game for Indianapolis. Both have come in this inning. Strode has a big advantage here. Here's the pitch. Swung on and foul. Good piece of hitting there, staying alive, Torri. No balls and 2 strikes.
Souvenir in Section A.
Al Newman is on deck. The outfield plays him to hit the opposite way. Gonzalez is ready. Les comes to the stop. Here's the 0-2. Little nubber, should go foul, and it does. Makes the first base bleachers. Count stays 0-2. What an inning the 4th was for the Omaha Royals. I don't think we'll ever stop talking, Torri.
3 home runs. That power display. And in this ballpark, definitely not a downtowner for the long ball hitters, but tonight the Royals just sticking the ball well and chasing the starter, Tim Cates.
Gonzalez is ready. Les Strode studies the signals given by Russ Steffens. Working from the set. Here's the 0-2. That's inside. So it's 1 ball and 2 strikes now. What's really interesting, Torri, is that Tim Cates, the Indianapolis starter, really started strong all the way. And then boom.
We mentioned if it wasn't for the way that Lester had been throwing the first 3-4 innings, Cates probably would have been the pearl in this game.
2 out, you see the runners on first and second. Rene Gonzalez is the batter. 1-2. Again, opposite way will go foul into the seat. Good contact there.
Well, again, Gonzalez just standing up there and sticking his bat out. Again, it's a case of where he obviously has to protect the plate, but he doesn't get the pitch that he wants to hit, so he has to do something with it, and with that good wrist control, he foul that bat, all those pitches off.
Les has 2 strikeouts. 1 ball and 2 strikes is the count. 2 away. Be a good chance to get his third here. The pitch goes outside with that one. Gonzalez lays off, so the count is now even. The 9th place hitter, Al Newman, is on deck. The runners have their leads. Mike Fuentes at second takes a look around. And we are set for the 2-2 offering. Here it is. This one in the right field. Brewer coming on. Did he make the catch? Shoestring catch. He does. And the inning is over. What a play by Mike Brewer. So there were no runs for Indianapolis. They got 2 hits, no errors, 2 runners left on base. And Torri, after 4.5 with that kind of defense.
Watch this. Good speed, good concentration by Brewer. And the kid from Palo Alto, California comes up with a 3rd out.
Chicago 9, Philadelphia 4.
Well, we're going to take a look at some scores here, Torri.
New York.
In the American Association, after 4, it's Louisville 2 and Wichita nothing. After 4, Evansville leads Denver 2-1. In the second inning, Oklahoma City shutting out Iowa 1-0. Over in the American League, one final score. The Tigers have lost to Cleveland 4-1. Kansas City leads Toronto 3-2 after 5. Also after 5, the Red Sox lead the White Sox 1-0. 4.5 innings, still no score between the Brewers and the Yankees. After 6, goose eggs for Oakland and Minnesota. That's a big ball game in the American League West. After 3.5, it's scoreless between the Orioles and Texas, and Seattle at California hasn't started yet. In the National League, 3 final scores. The Mets over St. Louis 9-3. The Cubbies staying right with them, beat Philadelphia 9-4. San Francisco over Houston 7-3 out at Candlestick. After 6.5, it's tied 1-1 between Montreal, who is the Major League affiliate of these Indianapolis Indians, and the Pittsburgh Pirates. That game 1-1 after 6.5. After 4.5, the Dodgers lead Atlanta 2-0. And out on the West Coast, again starting later, Cincinnati, it's San Diego. So there's your update again on the Association and American and National League scoreboards, Terry.
That's quite a series going on, 2 series going on out on the coast with San Diego against Cincinnati and then L.A. and Atlanta, Torri.
Now, of course, up in Chicago, the Mets and the Cubs will be going at it coming up here shortly.
Dave Leeper steps in to get the 5th underway. Kinahan's fastball's inside. Bottom of the 5th, Omaha 5, Indianapolis nothing. I'm Terry Leahy along with Torri Pantaleon. Glad you could join us on Sports 9. Kinahan with a 1-0. Big curveball, swung on and fouled. Dave's the designated hitter. 0 for 2 tonight. Called out on strikes his first time up. Then he flied out to left. Mark Riles on deck. Then Russ Steffens. Outfield straightaway medium depth as that pitch is inside to Dave Leeper.
Well, Leeper, the only Royals batter not to get up in the bottom of the 4th inning.
Swung on and fouled. 2 balls and 2 strikes now.
Well, it's good to see my family get into the ball game tonight. Oh, they got here just in time for the fireworks. Everybody has their hair done, even our dog.
2-2. Again fouled off. Count will stay even. In the 4th inning for Omaha, Ryle had a home run leading it off. Steffens had an infield hit, Hammond hit a home run. Then Mike Brewer homer. We're in the 5th. Dave Leeper's a batter. That slider misses, so the count is now full.
Well, you know, when you're in Kinnanen's position coming in after the damage has been done, obviously you just want to try to shut the door or put out the fire and then shut the door and hope that your teammates will be able to come back and catch up.
Razor Shines, who has 3 errors in this game. He's back a few steps behind third base. The 3-2 stays up high, so Dave Leeper leads off the 5th inning for Omaha with a walk. And here's Mark Ryle. Had the home run in the 4th. Then he flied out the left field in the 2nd.
First baseman, Mark Ryle.
Left-handed batter steps in. Wally Johnson is at first. He'll hold Dave Leeper. Fastball inside. I would say Kinahan better start working to protect the inside of that plate. The way the Omaha batters, particularly the next 4 hitters, operated in that last inning. There's a fastball that's high, so 2 balls and no strikes. There are no outs. Gorkman's going to have a little conference with his pitcher. Dave Leeper led this inning off with a walk.
Well, you can't say the last 3 innings the Royals haven't had any base runners. They had 5 in the 4th, got 3 in the 3rd, and left them all there.
2 balls and no strikes to Ryle. There's a fastball. It's a beauty. 2 balls and 1 strike. Mark Dwayne Ryle, the hitter. Henrietta, Oklahoma. Leeper has his lead. Outfield straightaway, medium depth. There's another fastball, this time on the inside corner, so quickly. Kinahan, 2 balls and 2 strikes to the batter. In '83, Mark Ryle led the association, grounding into double plays.
Dubious distinction.
And he tied for the association lead in intentional walks with 12 in 1982. Kinahan tossed across to check Leeper at first. Here's the 2-2. There's a fastball, and that is all for Mark Ryle. And Kinahan looks strong there. 1 away.
Catcher, Russ Steffens.
That's his first strikeout of the game. Russ Steffens will be the batter. Had an infield hit and scored a run his last time up. And he grounded out to Rene Gonzalez at short. Back in the 2nd inning. Leeper still at first. Bottom of the 5th. Omaha 5, Indianapolis nothing. Russ, that pitch is in there for a strike. Pretty good sequence of pitches here by Mike Kinahan.
As you already mentioned, Terry, Kinahan really a power pitcher. Good assortment of pitches to Mark Ryle.
That pitch is inside, tried the slider. 1 ball and 1 strike. Bullpens are now quiet. That would be obvious for Omaha the way Les Strode has been working tonight. Here's the 1-1. Fastball swung on and foul. Line drive will head way out, past the light pole, past the bleachers. Steve Hammond is on deck for Omaha. Louisville in town starting tomorrow night. One-two pitch, grounded. Newman will take it, step on the bag for 1, throw, and there's the double play to end the inning. No runs for Omaha. There were no hits, no errors, and no runners left on base. After 5 complete at Rosenblatt Stadium, it's the Omaha Royals 5 and the Indianapolis Indians nothing. 5-0 at Rosenblatt Stadium. Omaha leads Indianapolis. American Association Baseball live on Sports 9. I'm Terry Leahy, along with Torri Pantaleon. Good to have you along tonight, and a great night for the Omaha Royals. Who are those folks, Torri?
Never seen them before. I think the ushers ought to check for tickets for those people. Huh?
Al Newman.
Now, Pantaleon clan getting out the Rosenblatt Stadium and always enjoying Royals baseball out here. And it's a good night for it, especially for a Royals rooter.
Al Newman is the hitter, the second baseman for the Indians. Popped foul. DeRuss Steffens, a catcher, his first time up. He'll lead it off. And we'll go back to the top of the order for Scott Laux. Here's Strode's first offering, and the fastball misses for ball one. Wally Johnson will follow Scott Laux. Steve Hammond creeps in a little bit at third. 1-0 misses. And the outfield for Omaha will play Mr. Newman straight away. Medium depth. The windup, Les Strode with a 2-0. There's a fastball to knees, so it's 2 balls and 1 strike. Rosenblatt Stadium, 420 feet to center field, 343 down the lines. 2-1 fastball on the outside corner, missed. 3 balls and 1 strike. Les was really straining to get that one in there. Let's see what he throws on 3-1. Has that fastball fouled back.
You know, Terry, unless the Royals make up those 8 games that they need to get into the playoffs, this will be the last time they see Indianapolis in 1984.
The count is full. Here's the pitch. Foul tip, handled there, and a strikeout of Al Newman. 1 away. We'll go back to the top of the orders for Scott Laux. That fastball, a nice one there by Les Strode.
Scott Laux.
Well, Strode records his 3rd K. Again, not a power pitcher, not a strikeout pitcher. But if they don't hit the ball, it doesn't make any difference.
Laux, the center fielder, is 0 for 2 tonight. He was called out on strikes in the first. Then he flied out to left field in the 4th. He waits for the 1-0 delivery. There it is. The slider moves inside. Again, 3-0. The count now as the slider moved a little too far inside. Wally Johnson on deck. Butch Davis fairly deep out there and left. Otherwise, they'll be straight away medium depth. As that pitch misses for ball 4. So Scott Laux draws a 1-out walk. And here's Wally Johnson, who is 0 for 2. First walk of the game. Given up by Les Strode. Jerry Cram, the pitching coach for Omaha, is going to come out to the mound. Nothing real serious here, Torri. He's going to talk about some of the things that he might have seen as Les Strode faced the first 2 batters of this inning.
Well, Strode's last couple of innings, obviously, if you measure them against the first 4, far from brilliant. But when you give up just 2 hits in a ball game, you know you're throwing well. The unfortunate thing is that for Strode, both hits came in the same inning, and then he's lost a little bit by walking Lux with 1 out here in the 6th, and he has been throwing good baseball for these first 6 innings.
Wally Johnson, the batter, as that pitch is inside.
Now, Lux for leadoff batter, not really high on the stolen base department. He only has 3 steals. He's tried 4 times.
He is held by Mark Ryle. From the set position, that fastball's up high. Wally Johnson's the first baseman. Now, he flied out to John Morris his first time up, did the same to Butch Davis and left. Les Strode has had a lot of balls put in play like that tonight. 2 balls and no strikes. Here it is. And that fastball's a strike. Ron Johnson, the designated hitter, is on deck. We're in the 6th. Omaha leads 5-0. 1 away. The 2-1 breaking pitch is up high. Russ Steffens appealed. See if Wally Johnson went around on that. Flores said no. 3 balls and 1 strike. Batter has the big advantage here. Let's see what Les comes in there with. Laux has his lead at first, and Les chooses to fire across, and he's back. Four runs for Omaha in the 4th. And they had 1 in the 1st. This time, Laux is diving back.
Maybe not as quick, but that's a Bill Lee move that Strode just made. Look the runner straight in the eye at first base and then just throw right over there.
Johnson's the batter. Here's the 3-1 offering. Swung on, foul.
Well, that's what you bring your glove to the ballpark for. And it paid off for that young fan. So he'll go home with an American Association souvenir.
Les had a perfect game through 4. Outfield straight away medium depth. Infield double play depth. And Les throws across again. It has to be done. Have to make that runner its first stop. Certainly you have to look at him, Torri, and you were talking about Bill Lee moves. The former Boston and Montreal Expo pitcher. Look him in the eye. Count is full. To Wally Johnson.
And the whole time this is going on, the batter has to maintain some semblance of concentration. He can't get lulled into any situation up in that batter's box.
Again, this one a little more serious. But the runner is back.
What makes it tough, I think, from a hitter's standpoint in this situation is that Wally Johnson is sitting with 3 balls and 2 strikes. He gets lulled by those throws to first, and Strode comes to the plate, and Johnson's not ready, could ring him up.
Look out! Ooh, that is close. Quite a move. Laux dove back in and beat the tag.
Well, I'll tell you what, all 1,153 fans here tonight thought he was out.
3 balls and 2 strikes to Wally Johnson. Strode pitches this time, ground ball. Hammond has it. His only play will be to first, and he makes it, and there are 2 away. Advance Laux to second. Here's Ron Johnson, the designated hitter.
It looked as though Wally might have just hesitated a little bit on that. I didn't officially keep count, but I'd say Strode threw to first base 6 straight times. And when he did come to the plate with that 3-2 pitch, Wally had to commit. There's no way he's going to watch a pitch.
Ron Johnson flied out to John Morris on both of his trips to the plate tonight. With 2 outs, Laux in scoring position. Infield back, outfield straight away and medium. Les takes a look, comes to the plate, and that is line foul. Right-hander throwing now in the Omaha bullpen. And here is the 0-1 to Ron Johnson. The fastball is up high, so it's 1 ball and 1 strike.
Terry, it looks like Buster Keaton's down there.
You haven't seen him for a long time on Sports 9.
Well, he pitched a little bit in that exhibition game between Kansas City and Omaha.
Well hit, left center field, could be a gapper. Davis and Morris over there, it'll roll to the wall. Laux scores easily, and Johnson pulls up with a 2-out double. It's 5-1 now, Omaha over Indianapolis.
You know, last time Ron was up, I started to mention that we know with his experience here in Omaha that the guy can really wield the bat. And that was a nice gapper of a hit to break up the shutout. No way anybody's going to get that one. It'll go all the way to the side. And Lux just trots home, and now it's 5-1 for Johnson. That was his 19th double of the year and his 40th run batted in.
Ron is on second, and here is Razor Shines, the third baseman, who's 0 for 2. 2 out. Lester pitches. This one's popped up. Foul territory to the side of the plate. Steffens has a play, and it comes right down into his mitt, and the inning is over. For Indianapolis in the 6th, 1 run on 1 hit. There were no errors and 1 runner left on base. Indianapolis has left 3 in the game, and after 5 1/2, it's the Omaha Royals 5 and the Indianapolis Indians 1.
Well, this is the time where Lester Strode really is going to have to tighten his belt and bear down a little bit after throwing those perfect first 4 innings. He was touched for 2 singles in the 5th. Then he got gave up a 1-out walk. And those people are just totally incredible. I don't believe it. You know, that proves that they really care, because, you know, who would advertise that in public? Incredible. They look like first, second, and third prize.
Now, Torri, come on.
Well, you're bound to see anything at a baseball game, and folks, you just did. But you know, for Les Strode, we'll see what he can do in the 7th. As we mentioned, Buster Keaton was up throwing in the Royals bullpen down there in left field. And Lester, sometimes too, Terry, you see that happen. A guy will throw 4 or 5 great innings, and then the roof caves in on him. It's kind of like he reaches the wall that you hear marathon runners talk about. You hit that wall, and if you can't get over it, it makes it tough for you to succeed in whatever you're trying to do. And for Lester, I think the 7th inning now is going to be the telling tale.
Well, you know, you sometimes see that situation arise, Torri, after a rhubarb or something in a game, a pitcher rolling along and then doesn't have it after that delay.
But notice he didn't start running into trouble until the Royals put together a 4-run inning, and he sat in that dugout for a while.
Steve Hammond is the batter as we get going here in the 6th inning. Omaha leads Indianapolis 5-1. We're live on Sports 9. Terry Leahy along with Torri Pantaleon. Mike Kinahan's pitches in there for a strike. Hammond was called out on strikes, and he had a 2-run homer in the 4th. This time he grounds it to the shortstop. Gonzalez is up with it, and there's 1 away. So here's Mike Brewer. He too homered in the 4th inning. Reached on an error in the 3rd. Right-handed hitter and the Royals right fielder.
Right fielder, Mike Brewer.
Will step in. Jim Scranton will be on deck. Outfield straight away. Fairly deep for this man. The fastball is up high. Gene Lamont coaches at 3rd. He's the Omaha manager. He works the lines. That's usually the way they do it, most teams in the association. 1-0 to Brewer. Swing and a miss. Kinahan has 1 strikeout since he's been in the game. 1-1 to Mike Brewer. Fastball misses. Right-hander throwing in the Indianapolis bullpen. Brewer from Shreveport, Louisiana, native. 2-1, well hit. Left center field. It'll drop in right in front of Scott Louse. 1-out hit for Mike Brewer. And here is Jim Scranton. Scranton grounded out his last time up, and he sacrificed a runner over in the 3rd. 0 for 1 officially.
Just a little rope. Went with the pitch. And Laux was not going to be able to make a play on it. Definitely didn't want to gamble. He dives for it, and the ball gets by him.
Pitch out there, and nothing is going as Mike Brewer, the runner on first, moves back. He'll be held by Wally Johnson. Quick toss over. Brewer was having nothing to do with that as he was just standing on the bag. Kinahan looks in. Now he steps across the first of Mike's bag. Scranton is the batter, the Torrance, California native. This guy attended Palomar College in San Marcos, California. Then he was at Arizona U's. Again, Kinahan throws, and Mike Brewer gets back. Outfield straight away in medium depth for the Royals shortstop. And the infield will play for the double play ball. 2-0 pitch gets in there for a strike. Royals batting in the bottom of the sixth. From the belt, pitch out again. Mike Brewer stays put and just walks back.
Well, see, there you see the value of having someone the caliber of Brewer. He might be struggling offensively. That's the thing all ball players experience, slumps. But he gets on the bases and he draws a lot of attention and forces teams to deviate from things they want to do. He already helped Scranton at the plate with 2 pitch outs. And Jim's ahead now, 2 balls and a strike.
Kinahan again over. And you'll see why they're going to worry about Mike Brewer, because he has good speed.
Terry, the right-hander down in the Indians' bullpen is Bill Sattler.
The pitch to Scranton, ground ball. Brewer broke with that, and it's foul. And you could imagine what is going on with that round of applause.
Now, been a tough night for Razor Shines down at third. And you know it's a tough night when the fans give you, the opposing fans give you a hand for getting a foul ball. And the hecklers are here.
It's like the goaltender not stopping the warm-up shot in hockey. Brewer has his lead. Scranton the batter. That ball grounded. Gonzalez up with it for 1. Here's the relay for 2. And the inning is over with the double play. 6-4-3 double play to end that inning. No runs for Omaha.
No runs, 1 hit,
One hit, no errors, and no runners left on base. We played 6 complete, and Omaha leads Indianapolis 5-1. From Rosenblatt Stadium, this great exhibition game between Omaha and their farm, not their farm club, Kansas City. Major league team and their farm club, Omaha, Torri.
Well, as Don Slott steps in, we go to the top of the 4th inning, and with all the play-by-play, here's Terry Leahy.
Okay, thank you, Torri. As you say, there's Don Slott getting ready to dig in and face Theo Shaw. And the sun is out in full bloom at Rosenblatt Stadium, shining against those bluffs out across that river. And here's the first delivery to Slott. Ground ball, Pasternicki up with it. Moves across and throws, and there's 1 away.
You know, I failed to make mention of something that got to be kind of like an inside joke last year, but I forgot to say the lights are on. They've been on since the start of the game.
Well, when the game started, they were a real necessity, and they will be as the sun continues to go down here. Steve Balboni steps in, singled his first time up. Watches that fastball miss outside, ball 1. Balboni up and down with the Yankees in 1983. Change-up, swing and a miss. And there's a look at Steve, first baseman for the Royals of Kansas City.
You know, we've already made mention that Kansas City will be heading to Milwaukee tomorrow. Surprising team in the American League East.
I hope they get better weather up there this time of year. Last year they had a game snowed out in Milwaukee. That was up at County Stadium.
Well, I don't know. The weather that hit this area Sunday, we'll have to wait and see. I know toward that area they got a lot of adverse weather and several inches of snow.
Balboni is ahead on the count, 3-1. He'll be looking for his pitch here. Theo really have to be careful here with this big guy. Stays outside with the fastball. Balboni draws a walk. So Steve's at first, and here comes Leon Roberts. Roberts now playing in right field.
Leon Roberts.
Started out in left. He was called out in strikes his first time up. So Torri, this lineup at this point has Balboni and Roberts, two big, strong, right-handed hitters like to pull the ball. Let's see if Leon can go the opposite way at all. He doesn't have to there, sends it straight up, shallow center field. Morris is in, still looking, and makes the catch. That's two gone. Torri, you'd have to say Leon did the job there. That pitch down the middle of the plate, ended up getting under it, flying it in the air to John Morris. Balboni stays at first. And here's the catcher, Orlando Sanchez. He, too, was called out on strikes on his trip to the plate in the second. Balboni takes his lead. Here's the first delivery. Misses inside, ball one. There's two gone. And the Omaha Royals leading their parent club, Kansas City, 3-1. Shaw's pitch. Sanchez fouls it off. Ends up down the third base line and over the grandstand down there. Fans give it a look.
Might be a souvenir for somebody in our production truck.
I'm sure that someone will get to it. Here's the 1-1 delivery from Shaw. Change up, high and outside. That's ball two. Orlando had 16 home runs for Louisville last year. There's Steve Balboni at first. Here's the pitch. Fastball misses. So again, Shaw has a 3-1 count against the Kansas City batter. He had that against Balboni, walked him. Here he is against Sanchez. Orlando's ready to go. Fastball catches the outside corner. Nice pitch on 3-on-1. 3-1.
Well, you know, good placement, too. You figure with the count 3-1, you can't make a mistake as far as missing the mark because you'll put the runner on, but if you make a mistake by getting it too much over the mark, it could really hurt yourself. And control for a pitcher is just so important.
That 3-2 pitch misses, so Sanchez will go to first. On the walk, Balboni moves on down to second. And now Shaw will face a right-handed hitting Tucker Ashford. The Kansas City third baseman. Tucker flied out to John Morris. And that was in the second inning. Tucker played for the New York Mets last season. Shaw takes his looks, comes to the plate. That ball fouled off out of play. Took a skip off the roof of the grandstand here, first base side. No ball, one strike on the Kansas City third baseman. There are two gone. Sanchez and Balboni. There's Steve on second. Here's Shaw's delivery. Change up high. Orlando Sanchez kicks the bag, moves back out. There's a look at the sun-drenched outfield and the base path there from first to second here at Rosenblatt. Here's the 1-1 offering from Shaw. Look there for a ball. It's 2-1. Tucker Ashford, one of those guys just valuable for your team. Similar to a Darryl Thomas. Did a lot of work for Los Angeles. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Grounded. Pasternicki's up with it. He'll go to second for the force. Gets it. And Kansas City is down in the fourth inning. So in the fourth, with the Kansas City Royals, no runs.
No runs.
There were no hits.
No errors.
No errors.
And 2 left.
2 runners left on base. So there's the score. Omaha coming up to bat in the middle of the fourth. The Omaha Royals, 3 runs, 4 hits, no errors. Kansas City with their 1 run and their 3 hits.
You know, we talked about the Royals hitting that, having that final 4-game series here at Rosenblatt, May 1st through the 3rd against the Redbirds. Also includes a twin bill. That doubleheader will be May 2nd. It starts at 6. Royals will go on the road. They have 4 games in 3 days, May 4th through the 6th out of Denver. They'll come back to Rosenblatt Stadium for a 7-game homestand against the Oklahoma City 89ers and the Denver Bears. Oklahoma will be in town Tuesday through Thursday, May 8th through the 10th. Games will be played at 7:30 each night as we get a look at our first base cameraman, Kevin Baines. Of course, Kevin was part of the camera crew during that really windy and cold Friday night when Indianapolis was in town. And the same person is on the third base camera who was out there in the wind, Carol Edgren. And of course, we already made mention about our up-high cameraman here who gets to indulge in all the food and sandwiches, Mr. Bill Norton. Now we know why he wants to come up in the press box. Before, he used to love being down on the field, get that handheld camera, but when we said ham, cheese, and turkey, he just said, well, I'll carry all the stuff up the press box. That's fine.
That's okay, huh?
Well, I'll tell you what, this we made mention already about the impressive facilities up here, and because so many times you'll hear people say minor league baseball and pro baseball, and what they're talking about is minor league and major league, and these guys in Omaha or down in Jacksonville will tell you they're pro baseball players just like anybody else.
George at Brett had a lot of nice things to say about Omaha. It's the first batter, Ryle, lifts the fly ball to center. Jones is in, and he makes the catch. There's 1 gone. I was really impressed with that interview you had with him, Torri. We have some defensive changes, or one here. We have John Wathen, also a good utility player for the Royals. He can play catcher. He plays first base. That's where he is now. Number 12 at first base for the Royals. Here now is Cliff Pasternicki. He singled in the second. He steps in against Danny Jackson. It's 3-1 Omaha leading Kansas City. We're in the bottom of the fourth. Terry Leahy along with Torri Pantaleon. First pitch from Danny is a called ball.
There's action down there in the Kansas City bullpen once again.
Fastball misses up high. So the Royals have John Wathen that can play catcher, and of course they've gone a lot with Don Slaught this year. And we'll get a look at John Wathen at first. Also a great name out of Kansas City. 2-0 pitch is sent deep to left field. Back. Butch Davis is looking. Did he make the catch? Yes. Right up against the left field wall. 370 feet. A long out for Cliff Pasternicki.
Well, I'll tell you, we're going to see something right here in the fact that Davis, all he did was follow the footsteps that he made last year out there. Now look at this. Everything mechanically perfect except the fence is too far back for the batter. And Davis, as I said, followed his own footsteps from past years, and he made that catch.
Russ Steffens is in. He lines one out again into the gap in left center. Diving catch by Lynn Jones. Does he have it? Yes. Lynn Jones makes the catch on Russ Steffens. The inning is over. Bang, bang there, Torri.
Well, you don't know whether to take your hat off for the exceptional fielding by the Kansas City Royals or start saying Omaha's whacking those major league pitchers around pretty well. As you get another look at it, that's a major league play. That is definitely a major league play. Jones knows the only way he's going to make that catch, he has to extend his body and sacrifice just a little bit. And therein lies the difference sometimes between being with a big club and maybe not ever making it up to the major leagues.
Well, they sure robbed Russ Steffens of an extra base hit. Lynn Jones and Butch Davis, and the crowd really appreciates that one. Torri, did you notice on Davis's put out of Pasternicky, the way he straddled us, the fence out there, way out there in left center. Just beautiful body English he used.
Well, that's good field awareness, too. And, it's human nature when you're running at a high rate of speed with your head turned away from a wall that you know is coming up quickly. Your natural tendency is to slow down, look toward the wall, and maybe even stop. But an outfielder who can kind of get rid of that fence fright, we'll call it, and uses the warning track as a guide will make plays like that, as we get a good look there at home plate umpire Phil Jansen. And Butch Davis showed us why he's up in the major leagues. Just a major league play again. Good concentration. Watch the ball all the way into his glove.
Well, Torri, we go to the fifth. Kansas City's half of that inning. And stepping in is UL Washington. The shortstop grounded out to the shortstop to first is first time up. He faces Theo Shaw. Fastball in there, strike one. It's 3-1. Omaha leading Kansas City. Well, and then there's the other thing on those fielding plays. It's the unfamiliarity of the park.
Oh, sure.
At this point, Butch Davis, having been around here last year, like you mentioned, in his footsteps. I like that one. Here's the 0-2 delivery from Shaw. Fouled back onto the screen.
We're talking about differences in parks and everything. I can imagine what some of the old-time ball players, what their batting averages would have been if they could have played most of their games on AstroTurf. I mean, you get some of these line drive hitters.
On the 0-2 pitch, Washington fooled on the changeup. Count will remain the same. Oh, could you imagine Ty Cobb in the Astrodome? Infield hit time.
DiMaggio and Williams out in Seattle.
As if Ty Cobb needed to have infield hits. Swing and a miss by Washington. For the first out, Shaw went outside, slow curve.
Not only that, but can you imagine guys like Zorro Versailles and Luis Aparicio and Maury Wills playing almost 90 games on AstroTurf? You can talk to guys like Lou Brock and Joe Morgan, and they say what helps make your batting average is the number of infield hits you can get. Those ground balls that just get through on natural grass. Friday night, we saw a lot of balls die on the infield grass, whereas on AstroTurf, they're going to skim off and go.
Butch Davis is the second batter in this inning. This is his first trip to the plate. Kansas City made some defensive changes. That pitch fouled off. Theo Shaw, starter for the Omaha Royals, trying to, through his hurling, protect this two-run lead for his mates.
Personal note for me, this is almost like old home week for me up in the press box. So many of my people that I've worked with in broadcasting in this city at one time or another, all standing around here enjoying this game.
That pitch misses inside. It's 1-2. Ground ball, Pasternicky takes it on the big hop, throws across, and they get Butch Davis. That's two gone. There's a look at Cliff. Nice play. And Torri, one of the things that really made that play for Cliff Pasternak. He took that hop on the best possible one he could. He waited for the big hop, took it belt high. If you could always have a belt high hops, there'd hardly ever be any errors.
Well, and you can make, most times, you can make your own defensive maneuver like that. A lot of times you'll see a kid at high school or in junior high, Little League ball having trouble in the infield, and it's because geographically he's placed himself maybe 2 inches or half a foot too close to the plate or too far back, and the ball's going to take that same short hop on him all the time. Just makes that adjustment, and he makes himself get an easy play.
Lynn Jones, the batter, flied out his first 2 trips to the plate. He's working against Theo Shaw. Here's the 1-1 offering. Inside, ball 2. The Kansas City center fielder had a nice play in the bottom of the 4th. Waits on that pitch and fouls it off. Came inside. He fouled it back against the press box. Or did it go over? There's no reaction from the crowd. Of course, around here, the ball boy, Torri, is under pressure at Rosenblatt Stadium. He takes his spot behind home plate, and he has to make that play off the screen.
I believe that is Paul Splittorff throwing down in the Kansas City bullpen.
2 ball, 1 strike pitch. Changeup was in the dirt. 3 balls and 1 strike. So Lynn Jones can look for his pitch here against Theo Shaw. This is where the pressure is really on the pitcher now, not to make that mistake pitch. Here it comes. Swung on to right field. Mike Brewer looking into the sun. In his tracks, he makes the putout, and that's all for the Royals in the 5th. So Lynn Jones flies out to right field.
Nothing across.
No runs, no hits. There were no men left on base and no errors for the Omaha Royals. Good inning, quick inning for Theo Shaw. We're going to have their cheerleader back again.
Well, that guy ruined your eardrums, you know.
Pittsburgh 2, St. Louis nothing.
There's Mad Mike.
American League, Texas and Toronto was rained out. Cleveland and Baltimore.
We'll just let you folks give judgment on the man. Well, that out of the way now, Mad Mike moves back into the dugout. Oh, it's just the crowd, he really gets them going, Torri. We have a new pitcher for Kansas City. The right-hander now, he's wearing an Omaha away uniform, so we'll have to get who that pitcher is. We'll try and look on to any other changes here.
Well, that's Buster Keaton, and of course, Sheila Mont mentioned that Buster would be pitching some tonight.
Now pitching for Kansas City.
Here's the announcement now. Buster Keaton, the right-hander there, pitching for Kansas City. We're in the bottom of the 5th. Omaha's up to bat. They're leading 3-1. And Jim Scranton, left-hander, steps into the plate area. Jim struck out swinging in the 3rd inning. Here's the first pitch from Keaton. In there for a strike.
You notice just as Scranton stepped in from the left side, Lynn Jones out in center field took several steps toward left. Robertson right is also almost in right center.
Keaton's second pitch, outside for a ball. There's Jim Scranton. There's a look at the plate as the pitch comes in there. You can see it goes right in there for a strike. So it's 1-2 to Scranton, the leadoff hitter in Omaha's half of the 5th. Ground ball. Keaton backhands it. Throws across to Wathan, and Scranton is retired.
Well, we talked so many times, Terry, about the defensive-minded pitcher and the pressure that it can take off of your infielders. Good example right there. Keaton, of course,
Second baseman, Rondon Johnson.
for a right-hander, that ball was hit away from his glove side, but he had the correct follow-through and was able to make the play.
Alert, Torri had good balance, was able to make the backhand. As you said, he nearly, as he falls off to that other side. The Omaha batter, Rondon Johnson, he's in with 1 out. He's 0 for 2 in the game. 1 strike pitch is singled into right center. Rondon Johnson takes the big turn. Lynn Jones is up with the ball, and the Omaha second baseman is on with a single. So with 1 gone, the designated hitter, Steve Hammond, will be the Omaha Royals batter facing Buster Keaton. There's Rondon Johnson. Nice solid single to right center. Here it is.
There you see, he goes with the pitch, hits it right where it was at. Nice level swing. You know, we talked about that. The percentages of a level swinger hitting the ball as opposed to a power hitter.
Hammond pops it up. Jones moves to his right and back, and he's there to make the catch. There are 2 gone. Johnson will move back to first, as you can see.
And you see John Wathan down there holding the runner, Johnson.
John Morris.
He came through on the Kansas City's annual Goodwill Tour a couple of years ago, and I got to meet him, and just came off a really good season. I think to everybody outside the Kansas City organization, he was a surprise. I think the Royals knew what he could offer them, but the people who were outside the Kansas City organization, they see this guy come in, play almost like a utility role, and all of a sudden he's batting .300, throwing people out at second base from behind the plate and being able to fill in at first.
Keaton throws across to John Wathan. Rondon Johnson back. John Morris is the hitter. Morris struck out and walked his first 2 times up. Keaton again moves across. Good move there. The runner is back.
Looked like Johnson almost got his feet tangled up on that when he stuttered getting back to the bag, and well, that's always dangerous.
Here's the 0-1 pitch. Swung on, foul. It will move out of play down the third base side. With 2 gone and the runner on first. Outfield straightaway. Infield at force play depth.
You know, we just showed those empty bleachers down the left field line. In about 4 weeks, if you don't get here real early when the College World Series is around, you're not going to be able to sit out there. You'll have to stand up someplace.
1 ball, 2 strikes. There are 2 out. We're in the bottom of the 5th. Omaha leading 3-1. Keaton from the belt. Here it is. Misses inside.
Nice change of pace pitch there. I think he would have handcuffed Morris had that pitch been over. I don't think John would have been able to get the bat around.
And Torri, you can't really call that 1-2 pitch he had there a waste pitch. He did what he could. He moves across quickly to first base. Rondon Johnson is back. They call it a waste pitch, but you want to try and get it somewhere near the plate to fool that batter. That was a good pitch. 2-2 pitch, fastball outside. So the count is full to the Omaha center fielder, John Morris. There's a runner at first. Alboni, or Wathan rather, who has taken Steve Alboni's place at first. He'll step back, guard the line. Keaton, runners go. Pitch misses, and John Morris is on. And that roar is for Mike Brewer, the next Omaha batter. With 2 out now.
Right fielder.
John Morris on first. Rondon Johnson on second. Mike Brewer steps in. He's the right fielder. He had a home run in the second, a double in the third. Here he faces the right-handed pitching, Buster Keaton. First pitch swung on high. Back to left. Hangs up in the air. Butch Davis along the wall. He makes the catch to end the inning. Mike Brewer pulls one again, just a little too high. Butch Davis stayed cool. There's Mike. Butch made the catch right against the wall. The park was able to hold it, Torri.
Well, there you see his teammates Al Hargesheimer and Mike Parrott down there. Well, you know, just before that pitch was hit, I was going to say that so far Brewer's been able to solve all the pitchers he's faced. Maybe it's good for Kansas City's organization that Brewer belongs to him, because if he wasn't, he'd be seeing these guys 3-4 times a year and just wrapping them all over the ballpark.
Second number,
well, Torri, Mike Brewer, a favorite of the fans. We saw him homer against Indianapolis on our first telecast on Sports 9. Having a good day in this big, for the Omaha fans, big exhibition game against the Kansas City Royals. Kansas City in here tonight. After this game, they'll head on to Milwaukee. County Stadium will be their destination, and there's a look at us in the press box at Rosenblatt Stadium. This man to my right, Torri Pantaleon.
I got caught again. Now you know why Terry's doing play-by-play. I got to eat sometime.
Well, Torri, it's just a really nice evening. The weather's settled down somewhat. You like the hot dogs here.
Oh,
the fans like the baseball.
You know, you can't beat food at the ballpark. Again, you know, it's just so great to be in a ballpark.
Second base, number 5, Marty Wilkerson. Now playing first base, number 12, Brian Holberg. Mark Ryle has moved into right field.
There you got to look at Carol Edgren down on the third base camera side.
Batter, Onyx Concepcion.
Well, we go to the 6th. Onyx Concepcion steps in for the Royals. Faces the first pitch from Theo Shaw. Misses for a ball. It's 3-1. We have some defensive changes for Omaha. Marty Wilkerson now at second base. Mark Ryle has moved to left field. Here's the 2-0 delivery. Swung on and fouled back. Onyx Concepcion, quite a story as he watches that pitch move in there. It's 3-1. Onyx, opening day, first pitch against the Yankees. Ron Guidry on the mound, a home run. He fouls that pitch back. There's that ball boy, Torri.
Well, again, it's a high-pressure job.
Three and 2 the count. Pop foul, go back over the press box.
Yeah, we heard it hit.
Marty Wilkerson is now at second for Omaha. He replaces Rondon Johnson.
Brian Polberg has gone in at the first base position, replacing Mark Ryle.
Concepcion again fouls it off. There's a look at the crowd right behind the plate. Grandstand, a nice turnout here. And the weather turned out to be nice, but it's probably been fooling a lot of the people throughout the last 48 hours. Here's the 3-2 pitch of Concepcion. In there, called strike. Onyx goes down. So Theo Shaw gets Concepcion to look at that pitch for the third strike. Now we have Don Slaught.
Designated hitter, Don Slaught.
Don's a designated hitter. Came in for Hal McRae, pinch hit for Hal. The right-hander steps in with one gone. Here's the delivery from Theo Shaw. Good fastball. In there for a strike. We're in the top of the 6th inning. It's 3-1. The Omaha Royals leading. That pitch swung on the right field. Down the right field line will twist foul. Hit up against the bullpen mound down there, Kansas City's bullpen.
Tell you what, Terry, that ball stays fair. That's a tough play for Mark Ryle out and right. As we mentioned before, bullpen areas being in foul territory down right and left field. And that is an outfielder's nightmare. The ball rolls in that area, gets twisted around the pitcher's rubber, the catcher's plates, goes up against the fence.
0-2 pitch. Slow curve called strike. What a pitch. Theo Shaw came in there with an inside pitch. Really took a lot off at Torri, and he has 2 out. Slot strikes out.
First baseman, John Wathan.
Well, for Shaw, that is his 3rd strikeout in the last 6 batters he's faced, and he's retired 6 batters in a row, or 7.
With 2 gone, the fastball in there. A strike. John Wathan, the batter. He's the first baseman. Came in for Steve Balboni. Pitch in the dirt low. 1 ball, 1 strike. There's a look at the Omaha battery. Theo Shaw, the pitcher, and behind the plate, Russ Steffens. Brian Polberg has come in at first for Omaha. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Takes something off that. It misses. It's ball 2. 2-1.
Polberg, of course, playing his high school ball locally here at Council Bluffs. TJ was in the Yankees organization.
That ball swung on. It gets through the hole. It's a base hit to left. John Wathan aboard. Leapers up with it. And the Royals' first baseman is on first base with a single.
Right fielder.
So with 2 gone, the runner on first, we have Leon Roberts.
That ball just getting by Jimmy Scranton out at shortstop. They rolled it a hit, put it up on the scoreboard, but I don't think there was any question of those of us up here in the press box. That was a clean hit. Had Scranton been able to get a glove on it, it would have been a heck of a defensive play.
Here's Shaw's first pitch to Leon Roberts. Ground ball. Scranton up with it. Will force Wathan at second. And the Kansas City Royals are done in the top of the 6th. So for Kansas City,
No runs, 1 hit.
no runs, 1 hit. There were no errors, 1 man left on base. And we move to the bottom of the 6th. Omaha will come up to bat. They're leading 3-1. And Torri, there's a look at that crowd in the grandstand at Rosenblatt. It's just a great evening.
Well, again, you know, we've said so many times, but I can't say it enough. We at Cox Cable Omaha Sports 9 are really happy for the 2nd year in a row to be able to bring you Omaha Royals baseball, but don't let this keep you away from the ballpark. A major league team a few years ago took this slogan up as a promotional campaign: being there is twice the fun. And that's the truth. If you are a true baseball fan, or even if you just half like baseball, you have to come out to the ballpark to really enjoy it. Obviously, you're there for the game. As there you see some young fans, and there's no doubt as to who they follow. But obviously, you come out to see the ball game, but there's so much else going on. The fans, just the atmosphere. It's a fun time. And you can always, it's always something you can remember. You can always go home. You might get a chance. Like, think of those guys. Think of the guy that got up that day and then said, well, you know, I do have tickets to see the game. Yeah, I guess I'll go. And Roger Maris hit his 61st that day.
Well, Sal Durante made it. He caught the ball.
Well, you know, or a day where you get up and it's raining. This happened to me once in high school. I didn't think I was going to go to a game. My buddy lured me into Fenway Park. It was pouring rain. They were playing the Baltimore Orioles the first inning. The Red Sox pulled off a triple play. I would have been kicking myself if I hadn't have gone. So get out to the ballpark. Support the Royals. Omaha, Rosenblatt Stadium. The action's right here.
We go to the bottom of the 6th. Dave Leeper, Omaha Royals left fielder. Moves in. 1 ball, 1 strike on the second pitch. No strikes. Now we have 1. He fouled Buster Keaton's second pitch into the stands down there along third base. 1 ball, 1 strike to the Omaha leadoff hitter. Pitch up high. Yeah, Torri, it's today, to me, for me, it's been kind of just a carnival atmosphere around here. It's really fun, that batting practice. Ball swung on. Wathen backtracking. Concepcion has the angle. In fair territory, Onyx makes the play. There's one gone. We've talked about that kind of play a lot.
Yeah, you know, that's a long run for a second baseman, but again, if you want to be consistent at a high level of performance, you have to make that play all the time as a second baseman. Especially Friday night, the way the wind was blowing, we saw some really unique infield plays on pop-ups.
Here's Mark Ryle with one gone. Mark 0 for 2. He'll be 0 for 3. Right back to Keaton. He runs it across, flips it to John Wathen. There are 2 gone. And quickly, the Omaha third baseman Cliff Pasternicki comes to the plate. Cliff has singled his first time up, and he lined out left field. Popular third baseman, veteran around here with the Omaha Royals. Did some work for Kansas City last year, was called up. Here's the first pitch from Keaton. In there for a strike. Hit back up the middle underneath the glove of Concepcion. Pasternicki, big turn. Kansas City gets the ball back into the infield, and with 2 gone, Cliff Pasternicki has his second hit.
Well, another case of a hitter going with the pitch, and he had enough on it to get through the infield. We'll see it here, out low and away. Cliff doesn't try to power it, but he gets a good level swing. He used his wrist, and that's where you get your sting from. That's why guys like Clemente and Matty Alou got so many hits. They swing with their wrists. And you bring those wrists over, you swing level and bring them over on contact, and you're going to get a lot of sting, and the ball will just move.
Pasternicki takes his lead at first. Keaton from the belt. Fastball misses inside. It's 2 balls, no strikes. Omaha leading 3-1. With 2 outs, they have that base runner. They'd sure like to get another one here. But this is what you would call hitting in the clutch. Steffens pops up. UL Washington gets under it. Hauls it in for the 3rd out. So Russ flies out on the infield. UL Washington takes care of it.
No errors and 1 left.
So in the 6th for Omaha, no runs. There was 1 hit, no runners, or 1 runner left on base, and there were no errors. So we'll go to the 7th inning with Omaha leading the Kansas City Royals 3-1. From Rosenblatt Stadium in Omaha, Nebraska, Cox Cable Omaha Sports 9 presents Omaha Royals Baseball. Tonight's game, the Denver Bears against our Omaha Royals in American Association Baseball. Hello again, baseball fans. On Sports 9, we have our association game. Alongside me, I'm Terry Leahy. I have J.D. Burks, the head baseball coach at Bellevue College, and he's in here with Torri Pantaleon being on vacation. J.D., we have Danny Jackson going on the mound, and you just have to be impressed with him. He's pitched well all year, hasn't he?
Yes, he sure has, Terry, and as of late, he's been even better than he was in the beginning of the year. You know, he was up with Kansas City earlier in the season. He was sent back down so he could get some more work in, and he's proven to be a very good pitcher for the Royals.
Denver Bears bring in a good ball club, a good rival of the Omaha Royals, and they have a center fielder named Darryl Boston. And what do you think of him? He's a real exciting player, I think.
Well, I saw him in the batting cage before the game here tonight, Terry, and he reminds me a lot, and it just looks like Darryl Strawberry. Same kind of physique. He's a left-handed hitter, left-handed thrower. He looks like he could be an exciting player. I know he's highly touted. He was a #1 draft choice out of high school, and I'm looking forward to seeing him play.
Boston's another of the many exciting players playing the outfield in the association this year. You have Boston, Vince Coleman in Louisville, and John Morris here plays center field for the Omaha Royals. And, J.D., we haven't scored a run in the last 24 innings. That's the Omaha Royals. What's Gene Lamont thinking right now?
Hits. He wants some hits. If he was watching some of these media people hit before the game, I'm sure he's happy with what he's got, even though he hasn't scored in the last 24 innings. But it'll just take one guy to bust out of it, and the others will follow. I'm sure they'll score some runs here tonight.
Okay, J.D. and I will be back with the starting lineups and tonight's game. Hope you join us.
Present the words of the national anthem. To the playing and singing of the Star-Spangled Banner.
Oh, say, can you see?
Omaha, Nebraska. I'm Terry Leahy along with J.D. Burks on Sports 9, bringing you, as we have all summer, the Omaha Royals on Cox Cable Omaha. Well, J.D., we're going to have to cool down a little bit up here. We had Bob Feller pitching an exhibition. He made a few tosses to some of the Omaha Royals Lancers and the media people, so J.D. and I were down there before the game. I emceed the event, and I was the last batter, and I got one in the air, but never really cleared the batting cage. As you see, the left-hander, Danny Jackson. It's going to be fun to watch him. This is going to be a good game. Always a good rivalry, J.D., and you have the starting lineups for the Denver Bears.
Right. Leading off and playing left field, Dave Stegman. Batting second, the center fielder, Darrell Boston. Batting third, the designated hitter, Jose Castro. The cleanup hitter, the right fielder, Rusty Tillman. Batting fifth, playing first base, Joe Desaw. Batting sixth and playing second base, Tim Hewlett. Batting seventh, playing third base, Jamie Quirk. Batting eighth and playing shortstop, Jerry Manuel. The catcher and batting ninth, Ricky Seilheimer. That's a mouthful, Terry. The pitcher, Greg Bershevik for the Denver Bears. Setting the Royals for you defensively. Behind the plate, Brian Poldberg. At first base, Steve Hammond. Second base, Jeff Newsel. Shortstop, Jim Scranton. Third base, Buddy Biancalana. Left field, Dave Leeper. Center field, John Morse. Right field, Mark Ryle. And on the mound for the Royals, Danny Jackson.
There's Dave Stegman, the left fielder for the Denver Bears. He's set to go against Danny Jackson. Jeff Newsel playing second base. He just joined the team today from Double-A Memphis. First pitch by Jackson to Stegman as a ball. We're underway. Just a beautiful night for baseball. Cooled off pretty much. Here's the 1-0 to Jackson's fastball's a strike. Jackson pitching to Dave Stegman. Darrell Boston is on deck, followed by Jose Castro, the designated hitter. Outfield straightaway medium depth for the Bears left fielder. The 1-1 pitch fouled off. Bob Feller is on the mound before the game, the Hall of Famer. Winner of 266 games against 162 losses for the Cleveland Indians. Stegman set to go with the 1-2. Jackson with the delivery. Curveball gets him. Strikeout. Darrell Boston will hit.
Batting second, center fielder, number 6, Darrell Boston.
Last time Denver was in town, we had them on Sports 9, and Darrell Boston got a hold of a pitch and sent it clean over that Marlboro Man sign out there, J.D.
He looks like he has some power. He's just like a cat up there at the plate. He really uncoils. You'll really see him snap the bat here, Terry.
Royals give him quite a bit of room in right center as he shortens up. The pitch is a ball. Morris over towards left center. You have Mark Ryle in right field. He's battling that sun as it sets here in Omaha, Nebraska. 2-0 the count, 1 out. Jose Castro is on deck. We're just underway. Royals against the Denver Bears. Darryl Boston played with Chicago this year. He's down now. Fastball is a strike. The Bears, the top farm club of the Chicago White Sox of the American League. They're battling away in the Western Division right now. Darryl holds off on that one, so he's ahead of the pitcher. 3 balls and 1 strike. Breeze not much of a factor right now. 3-1 pitch, he walks him. So Boston is on first with 1 out. And here's Jose Castro.
Minicucci to the Royals office.
A 1-out walk.
Third, designated hitter, number 20, Jose Castro.
So Stegman for Denver struck out swinging, and then Jackson has just walked Darryl Boston, and here's Jose Castro, the DH. Let's watch Darryl Boston. Outfield straight away for Jose. Danny will work from the belt. He takes a look at the runner. He better. First pitch is fouled over the bleachers down the right field line. Biancalana is back fairly deep at third base. Royals infielders double play depth. Boston on first, held by Steve Hammond, and Jackson throws over and it gets away, and Boston's going to go to second. He rounds second as the ball's lost in that bullpen. He'll cruise in. The third takes a big wide turn. The Royals get the ball into Scranton, but that's an error. 1 out. Boston all the way to third now as the pickoff attempt went awry from Jackson. So they charge an error. 1 out and the runner in excellent scoring position. The batter is Castro. He's up there with a no ball, 1 strike count, 1 away. Top of the first.
That was a difficult ball for the first baseman Steve Hammond to handle as the ball was thrown right into the runner.
Well hit. Morris after the line drive has to come a long way. He can't make the play. It bounces in front of him. He gave it a shot, but a run will score. So Boston scores easily on that from third. Castro has the first hit of the game, and Denver leads 1-0.
Batting fourth, the right fielder, number 30, Rusty Tillman.
Here's Rusty Tillman, the right fielder. Not even John Morris could get to that one. It dropped in right center.
I think he thought that ball was hit a little bit harder than it was, Terry. He got a little bit of a late break on it, and judging by his actions out there, I think he's a little upset that he didn't catch that ball.
So Castro's on first. Tillman steps in, and the fastball is high and away. Denver a run on 1 hit. Top of the first. Royals infielders looking for the double play. Jackson from the stretch comes to the plate, fouled solidly back. 1 ball and 1 strike. Steve Hammond holds the runner at first. Desaw's on deck. The 1-1 to Tillman is a ball. Jeff Newsel at second base for the Royals, number 4. Rondon Johnson still with the team. He's the regular second baseman. Castro has his lead. The pitch. Holdberg's going to throw down, and Castro gets a foot on that bag before Hammond could apply the tag. Three balls, 1 strike on the Bears right fielder, Rusty Tillman. Way back in the box, here it is. Walks him up high. To put Castro at second base. Rusty Tillman, second walk of the inning and the game for Danny Jackson.
Joe Disa.
And the batter will be first baseman Joe Disa. The Royals will still play for the double play with 1 out. Runner on first. Tillman, and then they have the runner at second. And the dangerous Tim Hewlett is on deck. Good second baseman in the association for Denver. Joe Desaw, they play him to hit the opposite way slightly. Jackson's first pitch, well hit, pulled. Mark Ryle's going to give it a look. It's going to go off the wall. Here comes Castro around third. He'll score, followed by Rusty Tillman. Now there's a misplay in right field. And it's quickly 3-0 as Desaw ends up at third. Castro scores, Tillman scores all the way from first. One out trouble for the Royals, and Danny Jackson and Gene Lamont is out to have a talk. They'll charge an error.
The air's going to go to Newsel on when he dropped the cutoff roll from Mark Ryle out there in right field. Here it is here. Desaw hit the ball over Ryle's head. He come up, made a good throw, hit the cutoff man exactly the way he was supposed to do. But as you can see there, Jeff Newsel dropped the ball, which allowed Rusty Tillman to score all the way from first base and allowed Desaw to advance from second to third.
Gene Lamont has done a right-hander throwing in the Royals bullpen. Gene was having some back problems during that last homestand for the Royals. He was hospitalized, and Jerry Cram ran the ball club against Iowa over last weekend. But Gene claims he's okay. Here's Tim Hewlett. Desaw is at third, and the Royals are going to play one-run defensive strategy. The infield is in. The first pitch, a nice one, fastball for strike one. So you get those 3 runs in here already, and here's the strategy we see, JD.
Well, you don't want to give up too many here in the early part of the game. If it's a 1 or 2 run game, you'd probably see the Royals play back. But they're already 3 down, and with the way they've been hitting the ball the last couple nights, they probably figure it's going to be hard to score some runs.
Desaw gets his lead. Hewlett, the batter, fouls that one back. Jackson worked 2 nice fastballs on the outside corner to Hewlett. He fouled that one off, so thus the no ball 2-strike count. The runner on third, infield in, outfield straight away for Tim Hewlett. Here's the pitch in the air. Steve Hammond will go back behind first base, now in the foul territory, and the ball will drop. Mark Ryle gave a good chase too. There's Mark, the right fielder, and Steve Hammond has the baseball now. Count will stay, no balls and 2 strikes. Hewlett, good power. Jamie Quirk is on deck, former Omaha and Kansas City Royal. It's 3-0 on 2 hits in the top of the first for the Denver Bears. Omaha has committed 2 errors in this one. The right-handed hitter awaits Jackson from the windup. Here's the 0-2. Well hit left field. That should be a gapper. Up against the wall in left field. Desaw scores easily, and Hewlett will be in the second with a stand-up double. 4-0. Denver now leads the Omaha Royals.
That was an 0-2 pitch. It was too fat, Terry. It was on the inside half of the plate. Hewlett turned on it and sent it in the gap between the center fielder, Morris, and the left fielder for the Royals.
Batting 7th.
There's Jamie Quirk playing third base.
Jamie Quirk.
He made a trip to Chicago in the middle of the
Here
summer.
you'll see it again. Again, it was an 0-2 pitch, inside half the plate. It was too fat a pitch, 0-2. Those hitters are up there swinging when it's 0-2.
7th hitter of the inning. Quirk, the batter, swings at that one and misses. Jerry Manuel, the shortstop, is on deck. Tim Hewlett on second with a double. 4 runs in on 3 hits. Outfield straightaway, medium depth. Jackson looks at the runner from the belt. Here's the pitch. It's a good slider strike. So he's ahead of Jamie Quirk. As you look at Jamie, no stranger to this part of the country and this ballpark. With the advantage, he works his fastball low and inside. You saw it miss, so it's now 1 ball and 2 strikes. A right-hander warming up in the Omaha bullpen. Gene Lamont has already made a visit to Danny Jackson in this inning. 1-2, that sliced foul into the seats. Denver, they have a record of 65 and 63. Third place in the association starting this game. 9 out of the top spot. Indianapolis holds that position. One-two pitch on the way. Just inside. Pretty good pitch there. Just missed the inside corner. Even it up. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Tim Hewlett's on second. Again inside, so it's full. Payoff pitch will be coming. Pretty good crowd on hand this Friday evening. Saw Bob Feller hold a pitching exhibition before the game. That's why we're still catching our breath. The 3-2 to Quirk. He fouls it off. Stan Schmidt's catching his breath. He took some cuts against Bob Feller. Then he had to sing the national anthem, and he's made his way to the Rosenblatt Stadium press box. There's 1 out and the runner on second. Here's the 3-2. Walks him. Hewlett second, Jamie Quirk on first. With the walk, the batter is shortstop Jerry Manuel. We'll keep an eye on the Omaha dugout. Royals will now look for the double play.
Shortstop number 7, Jerry Manuel.
Well, Danny needs a break here, Terry. If he can throw a ground ball here and get a double play to get the Royals out of the inning, it would be of much help.
Manuel, the first pitch, gets the slider in there for a strike.
There's been 2 fly balls hit in this inning already. One that John Morris attempted to make in center field that landed just under his glove, and another one that landed foul in right field right in front of Mark Ryle. With those 2 catches there, he could have been out of the inning. But as they say, it is a game of inches.
Jackson has given up 3 walks in the inning. He has a strikeout. He got Dave Stegman. That's the first out of the inning and the game. Got him to strike out swinging. Runners had their leads. 1-1 pitch is missing outside. Well, Jackson is struggling a little bit here with 4 runs in. There were a couple of Omaha errors, but you still see his stuff a little bit. Pretty good velocities. He's trying to find that location. But he does have that slider. It's a good one. Manuel awaits the 2-1 pitch. Danny looks at the runners. There it is. The fastball, belt high for a strike. Tim Hewlett is on second and Jamie Quirk on first. There's the right-hander. From the stretch position, the 2-2 pitch to the Bears shortstop. Fouled off. This is where the pressure is on a Jeff Newsel and a Jim Scranton, the Keystone combination, JD. Take the heart out of that inning. Pitcher's best friend. Get the double play. I bet you like coaching down there in Bellevue College and seeing a nice 2-hop bouncer to a shortstop. Let her high. Start that one off. Here's the 2-2. Manuel, it's inside.
It's always nice to see that ground ball. Of course, it has to be executed. Scranton and I'm sure Newsel, we haven't had a chance to look at him yet, but I'm sure he can turn the double play very well.
Another payoff pitch to Jerry Manuel. Elects the fastball, sent to center field. It'll drop in front of Morris. Hewlett will score. Quirk's at second. It's 5-0. Jamie holds up at second. Manuel has a base hit. And the batter, 9th batter of the game, 9th place hitter, the catcher, Ricky Seilheimer.
99, catcher, number 13, Ricky Styleheimer.
5 runs, 4 hits. No errors for the Denver Bears. They haven't been in the field to receive any chances to make errors. Royals still waiting to come to the plate. Double play depth. Here's Styleheimer. Manuel on first. Quirk is on second. There's the fastball for a strike. Well, the old gang is back. Lisa and Carla, the Cuevas people. They work in the press box here. Torri is probably missing you people. He's in Boston. The 0-1 is inside to Styleheimer. Well, JD, I want to thank you and for filling in. You've done a good job, and we've really had some good times the last 3 telecasts down here.
I've really enjoyed myself, Terry. This is a lot of fun.
1-1 pitch, ground ball, fair. Hammond has it. He'll take it unassisted. Runners advance. There are 2 outs. So Quirk goes to third. Jerry Manuel's at second. Styleheimer is retired on a bouncing ball behind first base. It was handled by Steve Hammond.
Top of the order, left fielder, Dave
So we go to the
Stegman.
top of the order, Dave Stegman, who struck out swinging to lead this game off. Second time he will hit in this inning. 2 runners in scoring position, but now there are 2 outs. The outfield straight away. The right-handed hitter awaits. 5-0. Ground ball. Scranton has it. Going to have a tough throw. Has to make it underhand almost, and he gets him to end the inning. Nice play by Jim Scranton. Had to handle that backhanded, didn't he?
Had to throw across his body and made a good throw.
But the Bears in the top of the first
5
inning,
runs,
they have 5
4
runs,
hits,
4 hits,
2 errors,
2
2 left.
2 runners left on base.
Tomorrow evening
We
is
played
Central
through
Powell
1
family
half
night
inning,
with the Royals.
and it's the Denver Bears 5 and the Omaha Royals coming to bat. We're on Sports 9 with this game, American Association Baseball. I'm Terry Leahy with the play-by-play, and joining me is J.D. Burks, baseball coach at Bellevue College. No, thank you.
During tomorrow night's game,
J.D. has been filling in while Torri Pantaleon, our sports director at Sports 9, is headed back east for a couple weeks. As you see some of the crowds.
Here's the Royals batting lineup for you, Terry. Batting first, the third baseman, Buddy Biancalana. The center fielder and batting second, John Morris. Batting third, the designated hitter, Butch Davis. Batting fourth, the left fielder, Dave Leeper. Batting fifth, the right fielder, Mark Ryle. Batting sixth, the first baseman, Steve Hammond. Batting seventh and playing shortstop, Jim Scranton. Batting eighth and catching, Brian Poldberg. And batting ninth and playing second base, just called up from Memphis, Jeff Newsel. Setting the Denver Bears for you defensively, behind the plate is Ricky Styleheimer. At first base, Joe Desaw. Second base, Tim Hewlett. Shortstop, Jerry Manuel. Third base, Jamie Quirk. Left field, Dave Stegman. Center field, Darrell Boston. And right field, Rusty Tillman. On the mound for the Bears, Greg Bergevich.
Greg, that's a good one for the American Association. That's going to get the one of the all-time great tough names. When he was in here the last time, I thought it was Biersevich. But we will go with Biersevich. Buddy Biancalana, third baseman for the Omaha Royals, will lead it off. Bottom of the first, Royals coming to bat. They trail 5-0. Buddy steps in. He'll be followed by John Morris and then Butch Davis. Butch is DHing tonight. Biancalana, outstanding utility man in the Kansas City organization. Biersevich's first pitch, the fastball is a strike. Jamie Quirk will come in on the grass and play towards the hole at third. The outfield plays Buddy straight away, medium depth. There's the 0-1. It's outside with that one. 1 ball and 1 strike. Biancalana, fairly good power. I suppose I'd play him straight away. 1-1 from Biersevich. Sails up high. But you think a batter, top of the order, like Buddy Biancalana, JD, you might be worried about him going the opposite way.
He's a spray hitter. He'll hit the ball to all fields.
Fastball is low. Jamie Quirk is covering pretty much towards the hole. So he'll give them some help towards the shortstop position. He'll help out Jerry Manuel, who's pretty close to second base. 3-1 pitch is fouled back. Full count to the Royals' leadoff hitter. Flag is dead still here at Rosenblatt Stadium. 420 feet to center field. 343 feet down the lines. I'll get it out somehow. 3-2, Biersevich's fastball in the air. Quirk calls for it. He's in foul territory, and Jamie should make the play, and he does. 1 out. Here's John Morris, the center fielder. First year with the Omaha Royals. He was the Southern League's most valuable player last year for Jacksonville. Played for Gene Lamont. He'll step in with 1 out. Butch Davis is on deck. John had 23 home runs for the Suns last year. And he looks at that fastball for a strike. Darrell Boston in center field. Few steps towards right center with the right-handed to left-handed hitter up. That fastball is outside. 1 ball and 1 strike.
John let me borrow his bat to hit against Bob Feller, Terry, and I don't think I took any hits out of it, so he should have a couple in there tonight.
The 1-1 to Morris. Takes that fastball and fouls it back. Gene Lamont is the Omaha manager. He coaches from the third base lines. Jerry Cram down there at first base. He's there most of the time. Sometimes a pitcher who has the day off will take that position. The 1-2 from Biersevich. Lined over Manuel's head into left field for a base hit. Morris takes a big turn as Stegman out there had to handle a short hop on that. But he'll stay at first base for Butch Davis. First hit of the game for the Omaha Royals.
He went with that pitch really nice, Terry. That ball was down and away. He leaned over and went right with the pitch and hit it into short left center field.
Butch Davis is the designated hitter. They'll play him the pull.
Here it is again. Just you can see that ball was down and maybe even out of the strike zone away from him. But did a good job of going with it.
Desaw holds the runner at first. Morris, pretty good speed. And that pitch is a strike. Davis will play the outfield and he'll DH. Sometimes we'll switch with Dave Leeper. 0-1 pitch. So Biersevich is way ahead on the Royals DH. No balls and 2 strikes. So Dave Leeper could DH sometimes. Butch will go out in left field. From the belt, Biersevich checks the runner. Morris stays put, and it's fouled back.
Butch has been playing a little bit at first base, too, lately.
And we have Mark Ryle seeing a lot of action out in right field. That's where Mike Brewer was for most of the season. He went down to Double-A. That 0-2 is outside. That infield, Manuel and Hewlett pretty deep with the runner on first. Oh, there's a fastball, strikes him out. First strikeout of the game for Biersevich. Butch Davis is called out, and I would hate to be up against that kind of pitch anyway.
Biersevich threw a very nice pitch. The pitch before set that whole pitch up, though. He threw a 0-2 pitch out of the zone, away from the hitter, got him leaning over the plate, and came back with a fastball in on his hands.
Cleanup hitter for the Royals, number 9, Dave Leeper, left fielder. Morris is on first, and Biersevich throws it across. Darrell Boston will play Leeper slightly to pull towards right field. Mark Ryle is on deck. 2 away, bottom of the first. Omaha trails Denver 5-0. Good to have you along on Sports 9. Runner goes. Here's the throw by Seilheimer. Goes into center field, but Hewlett backs up nicely. Stolen base for John Morris, so he takes the matters into his own hands and gets himself in scoring position. 1 ball, 1 strike count on Leeper.
Morris had an excellent jump off the pitcher Bursevich that time. I think even with a perfect throw, they wouldn't have had a chance to get him.
John has his lead at second. Here's the 1-1 pitch. The change misses. 2 balls and 1 strike to Dave Leeper.
I like to see that kind of baseball, Terry. Even down 4 runs, 5 runs, they're still running the bases, trying to get something going.
The 2-1 is up high. 5 runs, and they're down 5 runs. The Royals have 1 hit, courtesy of John Morris, and he says, I'm going to get in scoring position.
A lot of times when a team is struggling at the plate, the manager will turn the team loose and let them run the bases, see if they can get something manufactured on the base pass.
3 balls and 2 strikes now to Leeper. Both bullpens are now quiet. Jackson was still survived that first inning. Swing and a miss there. Leeper goes down swinging. Second strikeout for Bursevich, second in a row. The Royals, in the first inning, no runs. They had a hit. There were no errors, 1 runner left on base. We played through 1 complete, and you see the score on Sports 9. The Royals have an uphill battle ahead of them. We'll be here to cover it.
Come your way on Friday, August 17th.
Second inning for the Denver Bears. We'll see Darrell Boston, then Jose Castro. He'll be followed by Rusty Tillman. They'll face Danny Jackson.
Game with Wichita at 7:30, 1 week from tonight.
Joe Cullinane and Steve Cole, the radio broadcast crew for the Denver Bears. They're down to our left here, sending the game back to Colorado. And you look at Danny Jackson. I've been impressed all year, JD, and 5 runs are in for Denver in that first inning on 4 hits, but you can still see he really has a good stuff, good pitcher. I'm excited about the Kansas City, their whole organization's pitching.
They do have some good young arms, Terry. Gubiza, he's done a real nice job for the Royals. We never even saw him here in Omaha. He went straight from Double-A at Memphis up to the big league club. Charlie Leibrandt's up there doing a nice job for him. They're hot right now too, Terry. I think they're going to try and reach a 500 mark tonight.
They have Detroit in town at Royal Stadium. Well, Darrell Boston steps in.
Darrell Boston.
He walked his first time up. Then on a pickoff attempt, Jackson sent the ball into the Denver bullpen, and Boston went all the way to third, and he scored a run then. He steps in against Danny, and here's the first pitch. Ground ball, fair, past lunging Steve Hammond. Boston around first, Riles up with it in the right field corner, and Darrell will be in standing up with a leadoff double.
You saw Jim Scranton there trying to decoy Darrell Boston into thinking the throw was not coming in by standing there very nonchalant. But Boston wouldn't buy it. Ran as hard as he could from home plate all the way to second base. Didn't let up a bit, and therefore he was safe.
The batter is Jose Castro. Singled and scored a run in the first, had an RBI. Right-handed hitter awaits. Royals play him pretty much straight away. Leeper in left towards the gap. He lunges that out of play. Leeper towards left center field. A lot of room down that third base line for this hitter. Boston is on second. Jackson will work from the stretch. And here's the 0-1 pitch to Jose Castro. Danny Jackson now ahead of the hitter. No balls and 2 strikes. Adrian Garrett is the manager of the Denver Bears. He replaced the fired Vern Law earlier in the season. 0-2 to Castro. He strikes him out on a nice pitch.
That was a fastball with something on it, Terry. I think that's as hard as he's throwing the ball all night right there.
1 away. The runner is on second. Here's Rusty Tillman, who walked and scored a run in the first.
Right fielder, Rusty Tillman.
Jackson has 2 strikeouts in this one. Boston scary out there at second base. One out in that kind of scoring position. Rusty, the Bears right fielder, really deep in that batter's box along that back line. Looks at that pitch for a ball. Well, this is a great night for baseball. Denver will be in here on Saturday the 11th and then Sunday on the 12th. Get out here and see the Omaha Royals, your AAA American Association team, the top farm club of the Kansas City Royals. The 1-0, he swings and misses on that one. Had him fooled there. 1 ball and 1 strike. Joe Desaw is on deck. 1-1 count. What will Jackson throw here? Looks at that runner. Takes a lot of time, too much. The umpire behind the plate calls time. One ball, 1 strike, 1 out.
You notice on that pitch that Rusty Tillman, the hitter, never budged. He was the one that asked the umpire for timeout, but he just didn't step out. That's a good tip for some young ball players. You see a lot of young ball players just step out of the box and they think that timeout is automatic.
2 balls and 1 strike. You have to request it.
And it has to be honored by the umpire before it takes effect.
And to keep the game moving along, umpires have pretty much been instructed now to, well, let's get the players to understand they can't be stepping out constantly. 2-1, Boston is going. Pitch up high. Polberg could have him. He throws, and Biancalana puts the tag on him. 2 out. Boston caught stealing.
That wasn't even close, Terry. Brian had a good pitch to handle. Used his feet very well to get out of the way of the hitter, clear himself of the hitter, and throw the runner out at third base.
So Darrell Boston goes back to the dugout. 3 ball,
Here it is
1
again.
strike count.
Catchers use, when you have a right-handed hitter at the plate, catchers use what you call a crossover step behind to clear themselves of the hitter. Brian did it perfectly there. He did it quick, and that resulted in the quick throw down there to third base.
Swing and a miss. Rusty Tillman at the plate. The count is now full. 2 outs now. Bases empty. You get a dangerous runner off the base paths. Desaw is on deck. We're in the top of the second. Royals trailing 5-0, and Danny Jackson strikes out Rusty Tillman swinging. Second strikeout of that inning. And that's his 3rd strikeout of the game. For Denver in the top of the second, no runs, 1 hit. There were no errors and no runners left on base. The Bears have left 2 in this one. We've played 1.5. It's the Denver Bears 5 and the Omaha Royals nothing. We'll go to the bottom of the second. Royals will get up to the plate. They'll send Mark Ryle, Steve Hammond, and Jim Scranton. And you see Mark there in the foreground getting ready to go. The Royals dugout. So Jackson has 3 strikeouts, 3 walks. In the top of the second, he struck out Castro for the first out. Then Polberg threw out Darrell Boston trying to steal third. And then Tillman struck out swinging to end that inning. Over the right field wall into Henry Dorley Zoo across the way. Concessionaires.
That's Tim, Terry. I know that man. Visits me quite frequently when I'm downstairs.
There's a good sound as he pours a cup of beer here at Rosenblatt Stadium, and we again urge everyone to get out here and see your professional baseball team. So here's Mark Ryle going to lead it off, bottom of the second. Terry Leahy along with J.D. Burks on Sports 9. Greg Biersevich is the pitcher. First pitch is a ball.
Well, if Danny Jackson can put that first inning behind him and throw like he did there in the second inning, he can hold the Denver Bears down. Hopefully the Royals can get some hits and get right back in this game.
Fastball, Ryle swings at it but fouls it off. Had a good cut. Mark Ryle had 20 homers in 1982 for these Omaha Royals. The 1-1, Biersevich, well hit. Right field, I think he's going to have one this year for the Omaha Royals. That disappears over the fence. It's 5-1, Mark Ryle. The Royals' second hit of the game is a high, long blast over the right field fence. Rusty Tillman turned around and waved goodbye. He's the Bears' right fielder. And there's the man who hit that one.
Number 11.
He's capable of it. Steve Hammond is the batter, 5-1 now. Leadoff homer in the second for the Royals. Biersevich pitches.
Rusty Tillman never took a step. He just turned his head and watched her go.
Quick glance, the 1-0 to Hammond, the fastball is a strike. Jim Scranton is on deck. Mark Ryle, he has that good power, and J.D., he has an outstanding arm in the outfield.
Very good arm. You have to be able to play right field. That's normally where you want your strongest arm in the outfield.
So before he hit that one, I said he had 20 homers in 82 for these Royals, and he adds another one tonight. Hammond saws that one off. Dave Stegman gives it a look, but it goes foul. That would have been a double. That would have hit inside that line. There are no outs. Ryle led off this inning for the Royals with a towering home run. Steve Hammond is at the plate against Greg Biersevich. 2 balls and 2 strikes the count. The Bears honor him, playing him the pull. Curveball, chops it foul. Two, reaches for that, and that'll go into the seats. So he does a good job trying to stay alive there.
Just trying to put the ball in play to keep from striking out.
Hammond can play first base, third base, can DH.
He's played some outfield for the Royals too, Terry.
2-2 pitch. Fastball up in the eyes. He fights it off. Count will stay the same.
It's important at this level that you have some players like Steve Hammond that can play more than one position, because you're limited a lot of times on the size of your roster, and you need some players that can fill in at other spots.
In the air, Darrell Boston in center field. He misjudged it at first, but now he's under it, and there's one out. Hammond flies to center field. Here's Jim Scranton up for the first time. Omaha Royals shortstop. We're in the second. Mark Ryle had that homer, cut the deficit to 4. 5-1 now. Denver leads Omaha. Quirk will, let's see if he steps in on the grass. No, he still stays even with the bag at third base as the pitch misses to Scranton. Inside pitch, tough grounder. Hewlett will grab the roller and throw the runner out. Tim Hewlett comes in, and the thing was slow. He had to scoop it up and throw.
It's a nice play by Tim. Fairly routine, but he did field right through the ball. Just a very good fundamental baseball.
Catcher, number 12, Brian.
Brian Polberg's the batter, the Omaha Royals catcher. 2 outs now, a run in. Russ Steffens plays catcher for Omaha also, and he'll DH. He's had some injury bugs this summer, but he still had an outstanding year at the plate. That's Russ Steffens. Outfield straightaway for Brian Polberg. Biersevich pitches, and his slider curves way outside. These are the kind of nights it's nice to be at the ballpark. Brian holds up. They appeal. First base umpire says he did not go around. Good job letting that curveball sail away. 2 balls and 1 strike. Fastball grounded. Piercevich handles the chopper, and the inning will be over. But a good inning to get things going for the Omaha Royals. They come up with 1 run on a hit. There were no errors, no runners left on base. Mark Ryle had a leadoff homer to make it 5-1 between the Omaha Royals and the Denver Bears. The deficit is 4, but long ways to go.
There's that home run by Mark Ryle. You can see Rusty Tillman never budged. Just turned his head and watched it go over the fence.
6-7.
We played through 2.
Go to the top of the 13th inning. A left-hander is on the mound for Japan now, Yoshiaki Nishikawa. So far, Nishikawa is 7-0. He's pitched 71 1/3 innings. An ERA of 0.89. The Americans are due to send up in the 13th. Corey Snyder, B.J. Surhoff, and Gary Green. And with a play-by-play for the next 3 innings, if we go that far, 13, 14, and 15. Terry, it's yours.
Okay, thank you, Torri. Here's the third baseman, Corey Snyder. Now, he doubled his last time up and was left. That was in the 11th. We are in the 13th. Tie score. Nishikawa. Is the pitcher. Gets his pitcher's plate straightened out there. His striding area where he's going to plant that pivot foot. And we're set to go in the 13th. Have to check that scoreboard twice now as we've gone back across the line score and started at the other end now. 1 ball and no strike. Snyder has had an infield hit in this game, stole a base. He singled in the 6th too. The 1-0. That pitch misses outside. 2 balls and no strikes. Good curveball.
You know, our director, Jim Carmichael, can't tease me anymore about the number of hot dogs I've eaten up here because tonight was not free food night. Jim, go get us that pizza. We're hungry.
The 2-0 is in there for strike 1. The outfield straight away, except for Motosiyasu Wakai in right field. He's over towards the gap. Kawasaki in left, very deep. Here's the 2-1. Snyder fouls it off. Takashi Yamamoto in center, fine center fielder. From our angle now, looks to be towards his right, towards the gap in left center. 2 balls and 2 strikes to the USA third baseman. Waits on the curve and sends that foul down the third base side. We're on the second page of the score sheets up here tonight.
Still, you know, I look back at the bottom of the 12th, and what a rally put together by the Japanese. It looked as though Mike Dunn, that's why Yogi Berra's statement, it ain't over till it's over, is so true. Mike Dunn in relief looked as though he was just going to shut the door, and it didn't happen.
Fastball, that's fouled off. So the count remains even. Wind absolutely still. It's kind of a dumb way to put it, I guess. Breeze. It started as a breeze. Now the flagpole in center field. It's not moving at all.
Here you see a right-hander now doing some work in the Japanese bullpen. He's been up before, Atsunori Ito.
Submarine style down there. Look for that sinker ball if he gets in.
Must have been watching some Kansas City Royals games.
Corey Snyder steps out. Excuse me, Torri.
He's just watching Dan Quisenberry doing his thing.
The Quiz and Kent Tekulve in Pittsburgh. Here's the 2-2. Change misses.
Whoa. Whoa. Look at Nishikawa as we take a look over Gary Green's shoulder down in the third base on deck circle.
Yoshiaki didn't like the call. Surhoff's on deck.
Pretty good sized crowd though, still since we've gone into the 13th.
3-2, swing and a miss, slider. And there's one away. Here's B.J. Surhoff, who walked his last time up. In the second, he grounded out, doubled in the fourth, struck out swinging in the sixth, and he grounded out to the pitcher in the ninth inning. There's one away. We're in the top of the 13th. Gary Green is on deck. The score is tied. We'd play the 13th if the USA could get a lead. And there's a pitch in there for a strike. The left-handed batter awaits. Change up, curve, slow curve, and he pulls that foul.
Didn't get out too far in front of that.
Wakai in right field. Plays the hitter to pull, as does Yamamoto in center field. A lot of room down the left field line. Here's the 0-2. On the line, the left field should drop in front of Kawasaki, and it does. And he will go on to second.
Well, now, there could have been a throw if Kawasaki didn't mishandle that. We'll see if they're going to give Gary Green a double. And they are. Looping double the opposite way. That was a good pitch he hit. He stayed with it. Surhoff, outside part of the plate, loops it down the line. Now, actually, in shallow left field, the infield had trouble. I gave credit to that to Gary Green. He's up now.
Gary Green, the shortstop. There's one out, a runner in scoring position in the person of B.J. Surhoff. Gary's walked, flied out, struck out, grounded out. They reached in a fielder's choice in the 11th inning.
That was B.J.'s second double tonight. He has 3 in the Olympic Series.
Fastballs by Gary for strike one. Shigeru Shimada, first base, guarding the line, playing extremely deep. Same goes for Yutaka Wada at third. The pitch, Green holds up as that sails inside, so it's 1 ball and 1 strike.
Well, in this situation, it's last time they were in this situation, Coach Kamamoto elected to walk the batter to put up the force out. Well, the on-deck hitter, Alfaro, has grounded out those last 4 times.
Ground ball, Yamaguchi has it. Looks that the runner has to make a throw for the out. Green's retired. Surhoff goes to third on the putout. 2 away. And here's the second baseman, Flavio Alfaro.
Well, Terry, I'm sorry.
Well, Flavio lined out. He grounded out again to the pitcher, and he also grounded out to the shortstop.
Another conference on the mound for the Japan team, but I noticed that the hero of last night's game, John Marzano, has grabbed a bat. And although Mike Dunn did come out on the on-deck circle with his warm-up jacket on, Marzano is roaming out in front of the American dugout down there with a bat. So I wouldn't be surprised if we do see the pinch hitter should Alfaro get on.
Marzano, the All-American catcher from Temple University. Alfaro's the batter, runner on third now. But there are 2 outs. Nishikawa, left-hander on the mound. With the score tied, 10 hits for the USA team. Here's the pitch. Outside, 1 ball and no strikes.
Well, you notice that time Hada went down into his crouch and then he just kind of rolled on that right knee, set up a way outside target. Now it looks like they're going to intentionally walk Alfaro to force Coach Dato to send up a pinch hitter and get Dunn off the mound.
Again, that's a situation you will notice Shinji Hada, the catcher, as Alfaro's going to use the pine tar egg, the catcher will stay in at least his signal-giving position when they're going to intentionally walk a batter. On this continent, Major League Baseball in the United States, the catcher will stay in the catcher's box and move that arm out to signal the direction that they are going to throw that intentional ball. Surhoff has his lead at third. There's 2 balls and no strikes on the second baseman, Alfaro. And again, pitch throwing way outside, so 3 balls and no strikes. Mike Dunn is the pitcher scheduled to hit. Odabe McDowell is out in the on-deck circle. They'll get back to the top of the order with him. We'll see who that pinch hitter is. Nishikawa checks the runner at third. Here's the pitch. It's way outside, and that will be an intentional walk. Alfaro on first with a walk. USA has runners first and third. 13th inning, score tied. We'll see who comes up out of that dugout.
I believe it's going to be Mike Dunn, Terry. Coach Dato has decided. Of course, when this situation arose, there wasn't anybody throwing in the American bullpen, but now there is. A right-hander's down. I believe it's Billy Swift from the University of Maine.
Now it looks like the change might be made.
Well, Marzano now has come out on the on-deck circle. Of course, all this obviously to give time for the pitcher in the bullpen now to get himself ready.
A reminder that this series continues tonight and on Tuesday night. Oh, we're only at 11:30. I'm sorry. So tomorrow night, I was going to be the big shots. They were in past midnight already.
That is Billy Swift down there, the right-hander. He did his pitching for John Winken and the Maine Black Bears, but finished up his career at Maine this past season with his 4th straight College World Series appearance.
John Marzano, batting for Dunn.
Now there he is, hero of last night's ball game.
Marzano steps in, right-handed hitter against Nishikawa. Odabe McDowell is on deck, runners on first and third. There are 2 away. Outfield plays in the pull. From the set, here's the pitch. The runner, Gary Green, or Flavio Alfaro, rather, goes down to second. The Japanese team indifferent to that, so he gains second base on a fielder's choice. Undefended steal.
That's a good statistical category, undefended steal.
Runners on second and third now. Marzano gets a cut, fouls it back.
Souvenir time at Rosenblatt Stadium.
1 ball and 1 strike. First base open. I guarantee you they want to pitch to Marzano. The 1-1's inside, he holds up.
Tell you what, Terry, you talk about the lights at Council Bluffs. If this keeps up, we're going to be able to talk about the sunrise.
I just saw the moon come out over there. It's beautiful. The batter steps in from the belt. Nishikawa. Low and outside.
Well, the pressure's really there. 3 balls and a strike now, and it's up to Nishikawa. You're right. They don't want to walk Marzano and have to pitch to McDowell.
Odabe is on deck. He's followed in the hole by Shane Mack. Alfaro's on second. B.J. Syrup is the runner on third. They have their leads. The pitch misses, and Odabe's going to get the bat with the bases loaded. Top of the order in the 13th. Odabe McDowell had the big home run his last time up. Before that, Odabe was 0 for 5 on his 6th official at-bat. He hit one of the longest home runs I've ever seen in this ballpark over that right field fence down the bank. Nishikawa is the pitcher for Japan here. Outfield. Swung away, playing Odabe the pole, of course. Wada, the third baseman, creeps in on the grass. There's 2 gone. Here's the pitch. Grounded foul. Fooled him a little bit. He fought it off.
Well, you know, you think about what happened to this ball club. Both these ball clubs playing a game Saturday night in Houston, fly in about 5 hours before game time Sunday here in Omaha. They're going to have to go at it Monday night.
A lot of room. A great amount of room, for that matter, in left center field. Bases loaded, runners have their lead. McDowell waits. That curveball's outside.
Coach Dato said that they were going to get out here early tomorrow, and the USA team was going to take an hour and a half to 2 hours of fundamental practice. We'll see if that's changed any.
Shane Max on deck. The pitch to Odabe, swing and a miss. 1 ball and 2 strikes. What will Nishikawa do with this advantage here?
That was a nice pitch. Took a little bit off it. Nice breaking pitch. But McDowell was fooled badly on it. What a spot for the USA team right now, but Nishikawa bearing down. Shakes off. He shook off 2 signs just then.
You see the runner Alfaro on second. And here's the little mind game going to work. Odabe calls time. And it's very important for this batter, well, any hitter, but Odabe really goes at it, getting set in that batter's box. The pitcher set. The 1-2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. It's even.
Now that's a big runner down there at third base, B.J. Surhoff. Of course, the American fans here are starting to yell a few of the things you hear in American ballparks at the pitcher, Nishikawa, but don't think he understands what they're saying.
Marzano's the runner on first. The 2-2. Ground ball, fair, handled by the first baseman, Shimada, and the inning is over. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and here's the problem, folks. 3 USA runners left on base, and after 12 and a half innings, we go to the bottom of the 13th. The score is still the USA won and the Japanese team won. We are tied in an big extra innings ball game here.
In the last 3 innings, Terry, the USA has left 7 runners on base. And you can't do that without that coming back to haunt you. So you're going to have to wait and see exactly what goes on here on the bottom of the 13th. Well, Bill Swift, it's funny. Coach Stato first let Mike Dunn come out. Looked as though he was going to bat. Marzano pinched hit. And now Bill Swift from the University of Maine will come in. On this exhibition schedule, Bill Swift is 2-0, has an ERA of 1.95. He's started 2 games. This will be his 6th appearance, his 3rd start. Has a save, pitched 23 innings, giving up 27 hits. 10 runs, 5 of those 10 runs were earned. He walked 4, he struck out 18. He's been credited with 2 wild pitches, and he's hit 1 batter.
Now the fun's going to start, Torri. We have to go change pages here for the Japanese team.
Well, David Poindexter has been out that center field camera ever since we went on the air at 7:10. And our whole crew has been here the whole time, and I'll tell you what, this has been an exciting ball game, and we're sure happy that Olympic Exhibition Baseball debuted here on Cox Cable Omaha Sports 9 and live. I want to remind everybody that Monday and Tuesday, the 2nd and 3rd games of this series will be right here at Rosenblatt, so come on out. And then on the 23rd of July, the Royals come back into town, and the Chicken will be here that night also. Cox cameras will be out at Rosenblatt on the 25th. So a lot of baseball action yet to go here.
Well, Motoyasu Wakai, the right fielder, gets set to hit against Bill Swift. Wakai is struck out, grounded out, was hit by a pitcher in the 6th. hit into a double play in the 8th. Then he grounded out to the second baseman in the 11th inning. We are going to the bottom of the 13th, and it's tied. Terry Leahy, along with Torri Pantaleon on Sports 9 Live tonight. The U.S. Olympic baseball team in town. First game of a 3-game series. As Swift gets that fastball in there for strike one. Curveball right back to the pitcher, and it'll be an easy out. One away.
Game ball, Sherry, game ball.
You know, the line's on Mike Dunn. He pitched 3 innings of relief. He gave up 3 hits, didn't walk anybody, struck out 5, and the 1 run he gave up was earned.
Here's the catcher, Shinji Hata. He has a hit in this game. He'll be batting with 1 out. Bill Swift comes to the plate. He throws a pitch on the outside corner, catches it for strike 1. Outfield for USA, shallow. Inside pitch fools him. He takes a bad swing. No balls and 2 strikes.
Well, I'll tell you what, if I remember correctly, my press got on Billy Swift, he is one of 15 children in the Swift family up in Maine.
1 ball and 2 strikes. Mark McGuire at first base will guard that line. Corey Snyder way behind the bag and halfway towards the hole at third. Ground ball. Alfaro up with it. There'll be 2 away. Just like that. Pretty easy inning for Bill Swift so far. And the batter will be the first baseman, Shigeru Shimada.
Yeah, I'm going to change my pizza order for Director Jim Carmichael. He can run down the street and get some pancakes and some bacon, sausage, and since he's the boss, he can pay for it too, huh, Kevin?
Nice fastballs in there, so the count is 1 ball and 1 strike, and this Swift really works quickly on the mound. You can see the pitcher finding his rhythm here. Another fastball.
He's out.
Swift will have to field it and make a throw. Nice play, but they ruled it was a foul ball. Off the back leg there, mind you.
Well, Swift, as I mentioned before, when not pitching for the Black Bears, played center field. Kid has good speed, and he was used a lot as a pinch hitter and designated hitter by John Winken. Of course, he has an arm. And he and now Richmond Brave pitcher Joe Johnson were the stalwarts of that main pitching staff on their appearances here at the College World Series.
Shimada goes down swinging. In the bottom of the 13th, the score remains tied because for the Japanese All-Stars, there were no runs, no hits, no errors, and no runners left on base. 13 complete innings. And the score remains tied from here at Rosenblatt. We go to the 14th inning. Shane Mack is the batter, and it's tied.
All the way from Blair, Nebraska, the Sheets family. Still here. Of course, Scott Sheets, our engineer, said Mom, his dad, and his brother. I know they didn't come to see him.
The 0-1 is fouled off, out of play down the first base side. Yoshiaki Nishikawa, the left-hander on the mound for the Japanese All-Stars.
Come on, Shane!
So Shane Mack has a single in the 3rd inning. Then he walked in the 12th and was stranded on 3rd in that inning.
Well, we're in a different situation. Normally, since we're playing in the United States, the USA team would be home, but they use, in this series, they're using alternating rule because they're playing in so many different cities.
Outfield, plays Shane Mack to pull. Particularly Taisuke Kawasaki in left. The 0-2 base hit up the middle. Shane Mack is aboard for Will Clark. So here's Will Clark now. He had a single his last time up. Had a single in the 6th and a double in the 8th inning.
Mack does a good piece of hitting here. Nishikawa low and away, and Mack still pulls it. Hit a center field for a base hit, and well, with a little bit of Hot Wheels on, we'll have to see now. Will Rod Dato try to send him?
Leadoff batter aboard in the 14th. Here's Will Clark. Shane Mack is held by Shimada, the first baseman. And the outfield will play this batter to pull. And the curve is in there for strike 1.
Well, a considerable number of those 3,185 people who were here earlier have left.
0-1, beautiful bunt. Catcher will take it and throw and get the runner at first. Sacrifice. Shane Mack is on second with 1 away. And the man making his way to the plate is Mark McGuire, the first baseman.
Now this big kid is hitless in 6 trips, Terry. Again, another guy that's really overdue. He's hit the ball well a couple of times. Sent some outfielders to the track to no avail.
McGuire is set to go. Stays pretty deep in what's left of that batter's box here in home plate at Rosenblatt Stadium. Yamaguchi to Coys, and here's the pitch. You see it miss 1 ball and no strikes. McGuire set a Southern California homer record with 19 as a sophomore, and he broke it this past year with 32, and that was a Pac-10 record. 11 hits for USA. The pitch, ground ball. Ueda will go to first to get McGuire. 2 away. Shane Mack goes to third.
Well, you know, we've been here before. USA with a runner at third base.
Here's Corey Snyder. He doubled in the 11th, struck out his last time up. Had an infield hit in the 2nd, flied out, then singled in the 6th. He has Shane Mack at third, infield back, and of course the outfield will play Mr. Snyder to pull. Time has been called. Japanese coach is going to go to the mound.
Well, as we've said, it's been a really long night for both these ball clubs. Kamota wishing to talk to Nishikawa.
B.J. Surhoff is on deck. He will keep his shin guards on with 2 away. Breeze absolutely still.
Well, you know, I'll tell you what, it's 2 outs. Snyder up. Snyder's hit the ball really well. He struck out his last time. Prior to that, he'd had 2 singles and a double. Well, you figure you've gone 13 innings. We're in the top of the 14th, and the USA only has 11 hits.
15 on my count. USA runners left in this game. Left on base.
As we mentioned, 7 over the prior 3 innings, 11, 12, and 13.
And again, by my count, the Japanese All-Stars have left 10 in this game. 10 runners stranded on base. Here's Corey Snyder now, set to go. 2 outs. Shane Mack is on third. Yoshiaki Nishikawa is the pitcher, and they're going outside again. And we'll see if this will be an intentional walk.
Well, you see the way Shinji Hata will set up.
Surhoff would be the batter, and he's getting set to come to the plate, as that's going to be the game plan. If you look at Corey Snyder in what I think are pretty sharp United States uniforms,
Yeah, I was just going to comment on that, too, since we always talk about the uniforms. Predominantly emphasizing the red, obviously, in the red, white, and blue.
3 balls and no strikes, and Snyder will be aboard with a walk. So here's B.J. Surhoff. Doubled his last time up. He is operating with runners on first and third, and he'll step in against Nishikawa. Left-handed batter. Japanese outfield will swing around and play him to pull. Motoyasu Wakai is deep and right. From the belt.
Again, the undefended steal.
As the pitch misses outside, Snyder gets into better scoring position with a score that a fielder's choice. Gary Green is on deck. He'd like to get the bat, but especially if some runs were in here. Here's the 1-0. Again, that misses outside, almost the same spot. It's 2-0.
Shane Mack getting antsy down there at third. He really wants to score, and obviously you can't blame him.
Shane singled to lead off this inning. Nishikawa delivers with the curve, and that's low. 3 balls and no strikes. He singled, then was sacrificed by Will Clark. Then on the ground out by McGuire, he moved to his present position on third base. The 3-0. They'll just put him on and get to Gary Green. So there's B.J. Surhoff at first. And here's Gary Green. Grounded out his last time up. Reached on a fielder's choice in the 11th. Then he's flied out, grounded out. He struck out in the 6th, and he walked his first time up way back in the 2nd inning.
That's a good way to put it, way back.
So Shinji Hata gives the signals from his catcher's position. Nishikawa takes a breath and gets set to go.
Tell you what, he doesn't get on. If he goes out, the Americans would have left the bases loaded 2 innings in a row. And they would have left 10 runners in the last 4 innings.
Shane Mack on third. Corey Snyder is on second, and B.J. Surhoff is on first. Outfield straight away and a little more shallow for this batter. Gary Green, Oklahoma State product. No stranger to Rosenblatt Stadium, having played many games in the College World Series. The 1-0. The fastball catches the outside corner.
Well, obviously the situation is clear. Nishikawa has to get Green out. Strikeout would be nice. It's less dramatics or a fly ball, but with the bases full, no place to put him, he's going to have to pitch to him.
Come on, Ragnar.
Gary tries to go the opposite way. Good idea, but he fouls it into the seats.
Well, the natives are restless. The local natives are restless.
We're in the 14th on Sports 9 Live. USA Olympic team. They're on the offensive against the Japanese All-Stars. I'm Terry Leahy, along with Torri Pantaleon.
Tell you what, Terry, that guy that's yelling behind the plate, it's a good thing he's not part of the Public Relations Committee.
Fastball outside corner. The inning is over. USA, they strand 3. We'll go to the bottom of the 14th. Gary Green called out on strikes. There were no runs. 1 hit in that inning. That was by Shane Mack. There were no errors. 3 runners left.
I think that scoreboard says it right, huh?
Oh, that's right. I never thought of it. We'll make a... The president is standing up in the 14th, so the crowd will get up and give him that courtesy and as he leaves the ballpark.
14th inning stretch. 2 minutes away from midnight. Jim Bailey says, time for a break. 111-1 for America, 1-8-0 for Japan. And the Americans have stranded 10 runners in the last 4 innings and left the last two innings with the bases loaded.
"18 runners I have stranded for the USA. Bill Swift is on the mound.
Hey, Coach, sit me in there.
Right-hander gets set to go, and the batter, I have to go to the next page and find where I am. Where is that Japanese team? We finished with Shimada Yamaguchi. Toshihiro Yamaguchi, the second baseman.
I'm American. I'm proud of it.
He's walked twice in this game. Let me go to the next page. He struck out swinging in the 12th. We are about to start the bottom of the 14th, and the digital clock out on the message board is set to turn to midnight. And you don't even have to look at the scoreboard right at your home. You see, we are live as the clock ticks towards Monday, and I'll be safe in saying, get out here to the ballpark tonight. See the second game of this series, and then it will conclude on Tuesday here at Rosenblatt Stadium.
They're going to change that. That live July 15th is going to change to live July 16th in about half a minute.
Toshihiro Yamaguchi, the second baseman.
Tell you what, one of the very people responsible for this series every other year just walked into the press box. Dick Takechi's here. In about 9 seconds, you're going to watch the date, July 15th. Yamaguchi doing us a favor by taking his time getting into the batter's box.
Hopefully he won't end
There
it
it
with a home
goes.
run. Bill Swift delivers. Ground ball. Will it get through? It does. And he's aboard with a hit. Yamaguchi is on. Alfaro gave it a shot out there at second, but it was a big high bouncer.
Again, a nice piece of hitting. Hard infield, high bounces. Of course, Alfaro out at second base was shaded toward the bag. Yamaguchi just went with the pitch, and he got it through the hole, but because it did bounce so high in the infield, it looked as though Alfaro might be able to make a play. But he wasn't able to, so now, again, Japan has her leadoff hitter on.
And the batter will be Kazuaki Ueda. Singled and scored in the 12th inning. First time up, he singled, and he grounded out, hit into a double play, reached on a fielder's choice. I'm just running back through what he's done in this game. He steps in with Yamaguchi on first. Bill Swift is the pitcher, no outs. Snyder creeps in, and here's the sacrifice attempt. The fastball's in there for a strike. Runner stays at first. You could really see the wheels turning there. Alfaro moved over from second to cover first. McGuire and Snyder broke in from first and third. Bill Swift threw the pitch he had to there, Torri, with a great amount of velocity. They knew that he was going to bunt. We'll see if he tries it again. 0-1 the count. Outfield, very shallow. Swift throws over to McGuire. Yamaguchi's back.
Well, you know, it's physical and mental conditioning is such a big factor of the situation right now.
The pitch misses as B.J. Siroff comes up throwing to send that runner scurrying back to first. 1 ball and 1 strike.
You know, Bill Swift, been a hard-luck pitcher in the College World Series. He pitched well, but his team never got him any runs.
The 1-1 is low and outside. Siroff blocks it up nicely. Just get on out to the ballpark tonight for the second game between these two teams, and then they play tomorrow night. That will be Tuesday. The 2-1, swing and a miss, runner goes, throw is high, and he's in there with a stolen base as Green had to sail over the sliding runner to handle that throw. Yamaguchi steals a base.
Well, that was a good piece of protection hitting by Ueda. That ball was low, but he went after it anyway, and again, it looked as though it paid off because Suroff's throw was wide and high, allowing Yamaguchi to steal second.
2-2 pitch is outside. Runner now in scoring position, no outs. That's kind of a form of a sacrifice. The count is full. Infield now drawn back. Outfield stays fairly shallow. The 3-2 swing and a miss. He handles it on the tip. And there's one away. Bill Swift gets that strikeout.
Number 1, Takashi Yamamoto.
So with the runner still on second, the batter will be center fielder Takashi Yamamoto. Takashi grounded out in the 12th. Bill Swift fires, ground ball. Alfaro has it, makes the throw, runner goes to third. Yamamoto is retired, they're 2 away.
Well, can he do it again, Terry? Last time this gentleman was at the plate, he knocked in a run.
That man is left fielder Taisuke Kawasaki. Had a single, was left on third, knocked in that run in the 12th that Torri was talking about. Runner takes a big break as that pitch catches the inside corner of the fastball. Yamaguchi, I thought, Torri, we may have a steal of home there. He really came. Snyder bluffs it back. The pitch is in there again. Nice fastball. 0-2 now. Yamaguchi really broke. He didn't do it quite as powerfully as he did on that first Bill Swift pitch to this batter. 2 away. Bill has an 0-2 advantage. Here's the pitch. Outside corner, strike 3 called, the inning's over. Runner left on third, will go to the 15th, and the score is still tied as Bill Swift, good job pitching, gets Kawasaki to get out of the inning. No run, 1 hit, there were no errors, 1 runner left on base. We go to the 15th inning here at Rosenblatt Stadium. USA and the Japan All-Stars are tied. Flario Alfaro is the batter. Count is 1-0. Well hit center field. Yamamoto has to move over. It hangs in the air. He calls for it. And there's 1 away.
Well, you know, I wouldn't doubt with the hitting ability that Bill Swift has that Rod Dato's going to go with him, and here he comes.
Batter.
Bill Swift will make his first trip to the plate here in the 15th. What a beautiful job of pitching in that last inning. He came into the game when John Marzano pinch hit for Mike Dunn, the pitcher. And then Bill Swift came in. He steps in against Yoshiaki Nishikawa. Pitch hit well to right, but in the tracks of Wakai, and he makes the catch, and quickly there are 2 up and 2 down.
Top of the order for 5.
But that will take us to the top of the order for center fielder Odabe McDowell. He grounded out unassisted to Shigeru Shimada at first in the 13th. In the 12th, he gave the USA a lead with a beautiful long drive home run over the right field fence. Can he do it again? Here's the first pitch. That slider is outside. We're live on Sports 9. This is the U.S. Olympic baseball team here in Omaha. Same pitch, again misses. 2 balls and no strikes. They're playing a Japanese all-star team. Many of these players will represent their country in Los Angeles. And I'm Terry Leahy, along with Torri Pantaleon, bringing you this action. The 2-0 to Odabe McDowell. Slow curve, misses low and away. Odabe is played by the Japanese outfield, obviously to pull. The 3-0 misses. Odeby is on with a 2-out walk, and the batter will be Shane Mack. 2 outs, though, with that runner aboard of the walk.
35, right fielder.
Shane Mack singled. His last time up was stranded at third. That was the 14th. In the 12th, he walked and was again left on third. He has a single in this game back in the third. Struck out twice. Outfield will swing away and play Shane Mack to pull. Former UCLA Bruin. Odeby has his lead. Here's the pitch. It's inside. Shane Mack, a 4th-round selection of the Royals. That was 3 years ago out of high school. This kid attracted 64 pro scouts for the U-Clan's first game this past season. The count is 1-0. Nishikawa from the belt looks at McDowell, and he throws over to Shimada, and Odeby is back. He played shortstop, first, third, and center field before settling in right field for the Bruins for the rest of his career there. Again, Nishikawa throws across. But 64 scouts, Torri, and we've seen the scouts, professional scouts around Rosenblatt Stadium this year, taking a look at the Royals and all the ball clubs. 1-0 to the plate, fastball, swing and a miss. And, you know, that's no small deal. Those guys spend a lot of time, they're busy people, they have a lot to do, and that's a serious deal in their jobs, and you get 64 for this guy's first game this year.
You know, as a ball player, though, it's a scary thing because usually a scout's going to look at you one time, and you better be at your best when that happens because chances of getting a second look aren't too good.
2 balls and 1 strike to Shane Mack. Shinji Hata is the receiver or catcher for the Japanese team, and he faked Odeby McDowell back at first. Nishikawa. 2-1, here it is. Fastball, through on the right side. It's in the right field. Odeby around second. He'll go to third. Shane Mack takes the big turn. Wakai is up with the ball, and with 2 outs, the USA has runners at first and third.
Well, there's a good example of the defensive disadvantage you're put at when you hold a runner at first. Mack hit a hard shot ground ball right past Shimada at first base.
23. Will Clark, left field.
Mack goes the opposite way. Hard hit ball. You see the diving Shimada, and McDowell with good speed. On the way to third, the throw comes in and they split the runners. USA has runners at the corners with 2 outs. And Will Clark Jr. up.
Will has 3 hits in the game. But there are 2 outs. Infield back. They'll play him to pull in the outfield. Odeby McDowell's at third, and Shane Mack on first after the single. Got by the first baseman in the right field. Yoshiaki Nishikawa's the pitcher. Takes a look at the runners, and here's the pitch. Fouled off.
And Hata is down again. He took a shot earlier in the game.
This has really been an incredible ballgame. He was injured way back early in the game off a Corey Snyder foul tip. He's played the whole game despite that. And here he is hurt again, Torri. And we're in the 15th inning. 15 2/3 innings.
You know, the USA team does have 1 tie during this Olympic exhibition schedule. And I'm just beginning to wonder just how long the officials are going to let this game go before they call it. Of course, Shinji Hata suffering his 2nd injury of a foul tip. As Terry said, Corey Snyder was up the last time. That was in the 2nd inning. And it wasn't too long after that when Yamamoto and Wakai collided out in right center field.
I'm just taking a look at the first aid here being administered. Torri, you don't think that, well, I don't want to speculate.
Yeah, I don't either, but that's the first thing that went through my mind, Terry, what you were just pointing to me.
And we are referring to the possibility that Shinji may have swallowed his tongue somehow.
Well, I don't know. Umpires now are trying to tell him to bounce. I'm not sure exactly what happened. Well, what a tough time for something like this to happen after playing such a long time and shaking off a foul tip injury before. Nishikawa continuing to stay warm.
There are 2 outs in the inning. And Will Clark is the batter, an 0-1 count on him, but there are more important things going on at the home plate area because the Japanese catcher Shinji Hata is being tended to. And they seem to be pushing on his back there, and that's what indicated that's kind of a scary deal.
Well, the trainer is out there.
Is this the longest game you've ever been at?
Well, I remember a 17-inning deal at Yankee Stadium. Of course, you asked me the game I've ever been at. That was why I watched that one on television. Time-wise, this has really been a long ball game. We started at 7:35 on Sunday evening, and by my watch, I have 12:17 in the morning on Monday. He gets a good hand as they walk him up the third base line.
Then didn't we come on the air at
Well, we came on at
7:15, something like that?
7:10 on
7:10?
Sunday evening.
And we are live right here. Let the folks know what we're talking about. This score is tied, and it's the 15th inning with 2 outs.
Of course, for you people watching, if you might have just joined us, that's true. Good point, Terry. This is not a tape delay broadcast. This is a live ball game. And you're not seeing things. This is the first game of a 3-game series between the U.S. Olympic team and the Japanese All-Stars. Several of the Japanese players are Olympic team members to be playing out in L.A. There you see it. 16 minutes after midnight on July 16th.
Well, it looks like Shinji is going to be okay here. He's on his own for the most part.
Well, and I still don't see anybody suiting up in catcher gear.
I'm just taking a peek out this window to see how many people are still around, and I'm surprised by the number.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. I'm glad I snuck away this afternoon and got a couple hours. Just paid off. There you see, from the first base side, panning down around behind the home plate. Wow, that's a good shot. I like that. Take a good wide panorama. Mel Hata's ready to go, Terry.
Yeah, that's quite a deal. That's quite a moment that we've seen tonight with this guy, this catcher. He was injured earlier with a foul tip. He just took it here. He's back behind the plate. Everyone heads back to the Japanese dugout, and we'll get on with the game, it looks like.
Well, some of the stalwart fans that are still here, that have been here since way before game time, I'll put in a personal plug. My family is still down, sitting in the reserve seat section behind the U.S. dugout.
Odabe McDowell is on third. Shane Mack is on first. There are 2 outs, and Will Clark is the hitter, and the count is 0-1. Yoshiaki Nishikawa is the pitcher. His battery mate seems to be okay, Shinji Hata. That pitch is outside as Mack takes second base undefended. So he reaches that on the fielder's choice. Infield is deep, and the outfield deep. And they will play him the pull. Now time is called, and Will points out there it's something. Everyone takes a look, including us. Yoshiaki Nishikawa is ready to go. Clark steps back in. The 1-1. I guess they called that a ball. 2 balls and 1 strike. Shane Mack's helmet is blocking the monitor view there. 2-1, the breaking ball's outside. So now here's a setup here for Will Clark. He has an advantage. Nishikawa's working with 2 outs. But he is at the big disadvantage against this hitter. You see Obadebi McDowell at third. Takes his lead in foul territory to avoid getting hit by a batted ball and being called out. Runner on second, Shane Mack. Here's the pitch. Outside, and the bases are loaded. And Mark McGuire steps to the plate.
Hey, you know, this guy, he must be talking to himself. 7 times at the plate.
I was just going to count.
The big O.
He's hit the ball well twice, and the ballpark, for the most part, held those hits. The big right-handed hitter steps in. He's the first baseman. He has the bases loaded with 2 outs.
3rd inning in a row, Terry. The United States has had the bags full with 2 down.
Fastball is low. This guy had a 4-4 record as a freshman pitcher, and he was drafted by Montreal as a pitcher in '81. That was out of high school. Nishikawa, 0-1 pitch. Hit left field. A run will score. Here comes Shane Mack around third. He should score. Throw is coming. He'll be in there. USA leads 3-1.
Well, a big guy was due. He took that pitch off the handle, put it through the hole at third and short. 2 runs come in. Of course, Speed Demons on the bags, McDowell and Mack.
Batters number 25.
And USA ahead now 3-1. Nice hitting by Mark McGuire. Fitting time for it to happen. 0 for 7 coming into this at-bat.
13 hits for the United States team.
Now look at that, right through the hole. Just a good hit. Solid ground ball single. Throw to the plate, cut off. Look at Mack hustling, scoring from second base, and we'll have a reliever. A right-hander coming in. Where's number 20? Atsunori Ito. And this guy, 8-0 for the Japanese ball club. He's pitched 65 innings with an earned run average of 1.66.
Now we'll make these changes in the 15th inning. It's now 3-1. Mark McGuire, he's on first. Will Clark is on second. Mack and Odabe McDowell both scored to give the United States this lead.
Well, runners at first and second now, 2 outs. Corey Snyder awaiting his chance as we see Ito, and he's that submarine baller. So this will be different. He's been out there throwing quite a few innings, so this will be a different situation for the American hitters to look at.
Attention, please. Number 20.
Well, he's going to be working with 2 outs.
Ito, number 20.
Nishikawa stands to lose this, providing we could get these. Well, we shouldn't say we, I guess. I'm being American there, but providing the Japanese team in the next inning doesn't get those good contact hitters up there and make contact. Ito's ready to go.
Relying on Nishikawa, pitched 2 2/3 innings. He gave up 4 hits, walked 6. 2 of those were intentional. He has 2 strikeouts. He's been charged with the 2 runs that just scored, and the runners on base are his responsibility also. And since the Americans are the visiting team in this particular game, they stand to possibility to score some more runs here.
Corey Snyder is the batter. He has 3 hits in this game. The submarine pitch is in there for strike 1. B.J. Surhoff, the catcher, is on deck. Will Clark is at second. Mark McGuire, the hero at this point at first, with a 2-run single in this inning. The 0-1. Make it 0-2. Corey struck out swinging in the 13th. Then he walked in the 14th and moved to second on a fielder's choice when the steal he attempted was undefended. You look at the right-handed hitter. Atsunori Ito is the pitcher, the right-hander from the belt. Here's the 0-2 fouled off. And I would say Shinji Hata, the catcher's had enough of those coming back at him. Did he? Well, they'll claim that he was able to catch the ball and that the batter struck out. But there are 2 runs in that inning.
No errors, 2 men left.
On 2 hits, there were no errors, and there were 2 runners left on base as Corey Snyder struck out. So, 14 and a half innings, where at that point, the U.S. has a 2-run lead,
Box office opens at 10 o'clock. The
and
auditorium.
they will have to hold these contact hitters here, Torri.
5:30 here at the stadium.
Well, tough situation for the Japanese ball club as they had to send in a reliever because the pitcher is due up now in the 15th, and we're going to have a pinch hitter, number 8, a catcher, Tatsuya Yashinami.
Let's see, I'm going to have to make my changes here. Number 8 has stepped up, as Torri said.
Three 13-1 for the USA, 1-9-0 for Japan. Bill Swift still on the mound for the U.S. Olympic team. He stands to pick up the win. If he does, he'll raise his record to 3-0.
Yoshinami steps in.
Number 8, Tatsuya Yoshinami. Yoshinami, number 8, batting for Ito.
And he will bat for the pitcher. Bill Swift kicks and fires, and that pitch, nice one, it's a strike. Bottom of the 15th. USA could win this. A slider again. It's a beauty. No balls and 2 strikes. Yoshinami, the batter. Set pitch. Misses, so it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Let's see what Bill Swift does here. Misses again outside, so it's now even. It's 3-1.
Well, one thing Rod Dato does have on this ball club is some depth at pitching.
High and inside with the fastball. It's 3 balls and 2 strikes. Payoff pitch. Look out into the seats. I heard some oohing and on underneath us. Count will remain the same to the leadoff hitter who's pinch hitting here for the pitcher. 3-2, strike 3 call. There's 1 away. Swift gets Yashinami.
Top of the order for
And we will get to that top of the order.
For 6, third baseman.
And we have the third baseman, Yutaka Wada. That pitch is in there, and it's a called strike. Wada has an infield hit. Then he had a single in the 8th. The 0-1 is up high and inside. He struck out in the 12th. 1 away as that fastball's inside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Bill Swift's on the hill. Outfield straight away, medium depth.
Swift working quickly in between pitches. Obviously, he wants to get out of this thing early, too.
He helps himself there with a strike, so it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Wada waits. Here's the 2-2. Fastball breaks beautifully with a slider on that. And Wada goes down, called out on strikes there, 2 away. And Bill Swift
Right fielder.
will face the right fielder, Motoyusu Wakae. And this marathon could be over right here with a USA victory. Swift pitches. Just a beautiful job there, Torri. No balls, 1 strike as he has worked that outside corner with his slider and fastball just magnificently. Here's the 0-1. Swing and a miss. That ball broke inside. And we are 1 strike from getting that 3rd out that would end the game. USA leads 3-1. We're in the 15th inning. 0-2 pitch. Comes inside, swing and a miss. Game is over. And the United States has won the first game in Omaha of this exhibition. 3-1, 15 innings. Bill Swift gets the win.
Well, he struck out the side for his 4th, 5th, and 6th strikeouts. For Swift now, he is 3-0. And for the Japan team, Nishikawa loses his first game in 8 decisions. What a ball game. 15 innings, 3-1, and of course it ended up being the guys that you normally would expect to get the job done. The speed demons on the bases, the big guy hitting in the cleanup spot, bang. What do you know? The U.S. has taken 3 out of the first 4 games of this series.
It was just a great ball game. There was, I think, a lot of dramatics. We saw a pitcher started this game. Mitsukuni Takeda, Torri, just pitched for such a long time. That surprised us.
Well, that line score says it all, huh? Finally.
Finally.
USA 3-13-1, Japan 1-9-0. Terry, it's been a long 2 days.
Well, I hope the folks get out here for the next 2 days, tonight and tomorrow night here at Rosenblatt. See the next 2 games of this series. It was a good game tonight and a real good baseball. This is the Olympic team.
USA 3, Japan 1. Torri Pantaleon for Terry Leahy and everyone else at the Cox Cable Omaha crew. I'm not going to say good night. I'm going to say good morning. We'll see you. Bye-bye, everybody.